Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. This is Hazel Lucia Tarot. I am your tarot reader Stephanie, and today's reading is about why you are still single. So I do have to preface this with a trigger warning because we're going to be talking about things that you may or may not want to hear about what is keeping you from either getting into a connection, finding your person, or why you just can't seem to make things work out with the people you date. So I do ask you to come in with an open mind, an open heart, and to be very honest with yourself about the situations. And if you feel like you're not ready to hear this, then of course you can go to other readings. But I was very honest within these piles. I've already recorded them. I went back and recorded the intro. But regardless, we have 5 piles here for you today. Pile 1, we have orange calcite. Pile 2, we have red jasper. Pile 3, we have hematite. Pile 4, we have a smoky quartz, and pile 5, we have selenite. So take a few deep breaths, open up your heart, open up the heart space really big, because I can already tell this is going to be an interesting reading for you. And whenever you're ready, I'll be ready for you whenever you are. Hey there, pile 1. If you chose the orange calcite heart, then we have a reading here for you about why are you still single. We're going to be seeing what is keeping you from finding the person meant for you, if there are any limitations you are setting on yourself, or if there is something out there that you are we're just going to see why you are single. I don't really want to put any kind of energy onto that, but I do kind of want to see what is going on with you relationship-wise, either subconsciously or consciously, or maybe any potential suitors that are out there that may want to come through, but for whatever reason are not coming through. So for my pile 1, I have Chappelle Rowan's Good Luck Babe in my head for you. I mean, that song has been stuck in my head for weeks now, but still, there's something here about either you're holding on to a past person, or there's something about waiting for somebody. Like, I don't know, for some of you, you're kind of holding on to some person or situation or whatever the case may be. If you are not, I feel like there's parts of it you are still holding on to. Take that if it resonates. It's not going to be everybody, but let's go ahead and look at the card you chose. We have quality time. Spending more time together and doing things you enjoy is important now. If you are single, this card tells you to spend more time with friends. This card highlights parties and a good time. There's something about having a good time that is going to attract the right person, is what I'm hearing, or attract the right kind of people. This reading is meant for whether you are looking for like your one forever person, something committed, or if you're just trying to, find a lot of dates. It doesn't matter what it is that you're looking for. We're looking to see why you have a bit of a dry spell. And right now, what is going to call in the right people for you is being more social, being a little bit more around your friends, and not just the friends that you see every day, specifically the friends that you know that you like to go out with and have fun. There's something here about gatherings. If not gatherings, let's say you are in school or in the workplace, being open to having more conversation with others, or reaching out to people that you typically don't, might be something that is going to be beneficial for you to find more people. And the reason that's coming through for this pile is because, like I said, you're holding on to something from the past. You need a breath of fresh air. You need like new people around you to see what your options actually are. Because it's not that you don't have options, and it's not that people aren't attracted to you. It's that you're not in the right environment to meet people, whether that's internal or external. Sometimes it's a little bit of both, because our inside can reflect our outside. But let's go ahead and get more cards for you, my beautiful pile 1. Yeah, some of you are holding on to a past situation. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. There's just something about it that is preventing you from moving forward. And I see this a lot in people who just kind of want to stay single. It's like, do you want to stay single because you want to? Or let's say somebody amazing does come along. Do you still want to be able to take a chance on them? Like, if you know they're right for you and you would like to have a relationship, what is actually stopping you? Is it you feeling that you are still healing from something from the past? Again, doesn't matter how long ago it was. Or is it something where you're kind of holding out for somebody from your past to come back around at some point? I see both of these situations a lot. And I've been in those situations as well on either side. But let's go ahead and get your cards. Trying to balance channeling and using my cards here. So we have Tekla, the prophetess of true power. I call my power back from all times and all places. I am my own. Yes, exactly. You're calling back your power from past relationship, past people, past whatever indoctrinations you've had about relationships, love, marriage, etc. Whatever the case may be. I always say that the things you grow up with do influence your dating life, whether it was your parents or whoever it was that took care of you. For some of you, it could be siblings that were considerably older, or like for me, it was aunts and uncles and seeing their relationships and how those played out. And it could even be just your culture as well, like things that were expected of your culture. How is that playing out within you? And of course, it's going to be different for everybody, but I feel like you have to call back your power from that, because you are not the people of your past. You are not being held to the same standards as the past, because times change, and standards within relationships change. We no longer are interdependent or codependent on each other for certain things. Men don't need a woman to clean up for them. They can clean for themselves. Women don't need men for money. They can make money themselves. It's that kind of situation. And of course, if you're part of the LGBTQ community, you can actually have that relationship and not have to be in the closet as much as you used to, of course, depending on where you are. But that itself brings its own kind of relationship situation stuff. Like, it doesn't matter what your situation is, there's something from the past that you need to take back your power from. And back of the deck, we have Inanna, Queen of Heaven and Earth. Let me censor her heart chakra there. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. So there's something here about you being radically yourself and very radically true to yourself. There's something here about you being the most honest version of yourself that is important. I feel like for the majority of you, you've been suppressing this. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't act in a way that you feel somebody is going to respond to positively. Act in the way that you are yourself. And being very honest with both yourself and with others is going to, again, allow people to come in that are meant for you. So if you're going on dates, if you're showing up somewhere, dress the way you want to dress. Be the person you want to be, act how you act. It's all about you being very authentic, because let's face it, we all do put up a little bit of a mask whenever we first meet somebody. We just do this naturally, of course, not to completely repel them, and to have a sense of civility here, like to show them, hey, I can behave like a regular person, human too. But after the first, second date, there's something here, or meeting if it's not dates, there's something here about being yourself that is very important. You have nothing to hide. Be very honest with yourself and the person you are. Let's go ahead and get your Gods and Titans card. This can either be seen as your masculine aspect, like your most masculine aspect, your yang aspect, if you will, or you can see it as the people that you are attracting if you are very much in your feminine energy. And you can switch these around as well. So what is it that is... What are you actually attracting that you're not aware of, is what I'm hearing. We have set chaos. Yeah, some of you are just like, some of you are attracting the chaotic types. You will know who you are. Like, it's not hard to see who they are. And maybe for some of you, you just crave excitement in a relationship, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem here is that you may attract the people who are just a little bit too exciting, if you know what I mean, or people who just don't want to commit. Something about having no sense of stability here. Of course, this could also be something that you seek actively. Maybe you yourself find yourself to be very, I'll use myself as an example. I tend to be very introverted. I tend to be very, boring or just routine. Like, I have a set way of being. So the kind of people I've always been attracted to are the wild and crazy types who can get me out of that routine. There's something here about this is what you're attracting, but it might be a little bit too much of that. Or it could be the wrong type of chaos. Maybe you do need somebody who's outgoing and active and, extroverted if that's the case. But make sure it's somebody who's like leaning more towards also caring about others. Because what I'm hearing is narcissistic tendencies. So maybe some of you have attracted people with narcissism. And I mean, that's unfortunate, but sometimes that goes along with the things that you're also into. Because let's face it, what attracts us to narcissists is something a little bit that we do like. Maybe we do like somebody with an outgoing personality. We do like somebody who, is a little bit, how do I say this? Not controlling, but, they have a way of wanting things. And sometimes we want somebody with a little bit of direction in life. But there's something here about balancing out the people that you are attracted to, or really looking at what exactly it is that you are attracted to within a person. Let's go ahead and get more cards. You have the Animal Apothecary. This is basic needs that you are not being met or have not been met that you need to be met. Either by yourself, or like you meet these needs yourself, or somebody else has to meet them for you. I may be able to get 2 for this one. Get out of your head. Some of you fantasize a lot. Some of you, this is my overthinkers. This is my pile of overthinkers. They're people who sometimes jump to conclusions a little bit too early or a little bit too soon. For example, in the dating life, like maybe you just assume that most people on dating apps are just there for something casual, a fling, or to just, there's something here about just not believing in what people have to say, and that comes as a result of your overthinking. There's something here about you having to allow people to show themselves before you make a conclusion. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing. This is, of course, our own ego trying to protect us from things that we've experienced before. After all, we did have this chaotic energy here. You're trying to sniff that out before it happens. But the thing is, you have to allow people to be themselves, because everybody is going through a self-growth journey. Whether they are aware of this or not, everybody is going through improvements. With every relationship, people change, and people can and will change for you. It may not be in the ways that you want it to, but people can and do this. So allow them to be themselves, allow them to show up for you, allow them to just see a little bit more of them before you come to a conclusion, is what I'm hearing. And sometimes, it is okay to come to the conclusion if you see right away that there's like way too many red flags. But for the majority of you, what's getting in the way of you finding people is not allowing them to be themselves for a little bit longer. Just the way you would want them to give you a little bit more of a chance, you have to give them a chance as well. Only if you want to, of course, because I'm seeing somebody like shut down somebody who maybe has a hard time communicating, but is otherwise a really great person, or something along those lines. And I'm not saying that if you shut somebody down before in the past that you have to go back and you're like, oh, let me give you a chance. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying just take it slow. Take it slow. Your mind needs a little bit of a rest from relationships. Let's get another card. We have keep trying. I'm not sure if you wanted to hear that within a singles reading here, pile 1. It's like, well, no duh, let's keep trying. Let's just keep dating. I feel like for some of you, even when you feel like giving up on dating, not saying that there's anything wrong with that, by all means take a break, but don't close yourself off completely to dating, especially when a really good offer or a really good potential comes along here. Because there's something about you finding something when you least expect it. That was a very weird bird call. I'm not sure if you heard it, pile 1, but I've never heard that bird before. Yeah, something about finding a very particular kind of person that you've never dated before is going to help you out here. And for a lot of you, this means open yourself up to new types of people. I feel like you've been dating one type of person, and in opening up to new people, you'll find, well, one, whether something or somebody is your type or not. If you believe in types. I personally don't, but I know some people do. And 2, like the experiences that you have with people. Sometimes people just take you out on dates that you would otherwise never go to because that's the kind of person they are. So there's something along those lines. Like, for example, maybe this person works somewhere that you've always wanted to go to and they can get you in for free. That's what I'm hearing. I'm not saying to use people. That's not what I'm saying. Like, if there's genuine interest between the both of you and they just also happen to do something that you like, by all means, go for it. That's what I'm saying. So let's go ahead and get your Prism Oracle cards. These are emotions that could be getting in the way as well, or emotions that you need to sort out before you move on. We have fear. For some of you, there's just a fear. And look, I don't blame you. If you've dealt with people who have been very not so great in the past, people who have been very inconsiderate or apathetic towards you, then of course there's going to be a fear that people will just be like this. But the thing is that this fear will just keep attracting that kind of person. It's kind of like, what is that saying? They can smell your fear. There's energetically, there is some validity to this, because people of a type of energy will be looking for some people of a different type of energy. So you can't go into the dating life with fear. You can't go into the dating life with what what's the word for it? With doubts, because that will just bring up the people who will prove you right about your doubts, and we don't want that. So there's something here about, yes, keep trying, but don't let fear win out. After all, relationships and dating is about the heart. We have to lead with the heart. I always say that. I used to say that in yoga just to keep people's posture really well, but when I meant with leading with the heart is to choose what makes you feel good, choose what you know is going to enrich your life, choose what you know is going to make you feel better about yourself. And this includes the outlook you have when it comes to these dates, relationships, people. And if they decide to be, you know, whatever it is that they are, that's on them. At least you can say that you showed up with an open heart and with a love that you know you're ready to give to the right person. Back of the deck, we have happiness. Yeah. Don't choose fear, choose happiness. Yeah, to go in with a happy mindset will end up going a lot further than going in with fear. And because I'm hearing some of you, well, sometimes people just bring you down. Whenever this happens to me, I just take a break, whether it's like, oh, let me go to the bathroom, or oh, let me just, you know, step outside, do something. I take a few deep breaths and I call my power back. I call my power back knowing that I am fully in control of what I do, that I have options, that I have, well, not options, that I have control over what it is that I am doing here. And yes, this person could be trying to do something towards me, or the situation could be bringing up certain things and patterns from the past, but that doesn't mean it's going to define my future. So take that as it resonates. Let's get a few more cards, though. The Sacred Feminine Oracle cards. I actually have 2 more decks. Why might I pile one? Why are they still single? What's keeping them from finding the one? I'm being told to get 3 from this one, so let me lay them out. We have Reasoned. I'm hearing a lot of you are too smart for the kind of people you've been going for. We have Abandoned. So there's an abandonment wound here for the majority of you. You could also be attracted to people with abandonment wounds is what I'm hearing, because I'm seeing specifically some of you, even if you have healed your abandonment wounds for whatever reason, you're attracting people who have that same thing, and you see that unhealed part of themselves, and it's making you doubt whether you've healed that within yourself or not. The truth is that a lot of you want to heal your person. You want to heal the person you are with. And this is an admirable thing to do, but everybody is on their journey. And unless you've been with them for like 10 years, you have, you know, all these kids, and you have like, unless you're already like in it, that shouldn't be something you should really take on. And even then, there's only so much you can do before somebody can heal themselves. So if you're calling in people with the same hurts as you, it's because part of you wants to help them through this. And this is an admirable thing to have, I'm letting you know, but this isn't something you should be having, you know, at the onset of the relationship. This is something for, you know, long-term thing. This is something where they've already, you know, put a ring on it. They've already committed. They've already signed documents. That's when you start tapping into that energy. And even then, make sure it's not at the detriment of yourself. Make sure you are still focusing on you, because you're not meant to carry everything here. We also have Fairy Woman. Yeah. This to me is the healer card in this particular deck, because Fairy Woman, I'm thinking of, is it Charon? Charon that guides the souls through the underworld. There's something about you that really loves to guide people in times of emotional need, or maybe even spiritual need for some of you. And I know as a tarot reader, healer, energetic worker, I just naturally do this to everybody in my life. And I kind of have to set up boundaries, because sometimes people aren't ready for that, and sometimes people don't want that. So there's something here about knowing your own boundaries, like when to give and when to hold back. And for I get it. For a lot of you, it's hard because you just want to help everybody, and that's a beautiful heart that you have. But this is something that should be done once you're in it. This is very much wifey, hubby things that are meant to be done much later. And I don't want to provide an example, but let's just say, and I've done this before, so it's like when you meet somebody, the first thing you want to do is talk about meditation, how it can change their life, etc., etc. The right people will not be scared off, but even the right people may find that a bit too heavy to deal with at the beginning. And it's kind of like a little bit too much too soon. unless they brought it up, unless you both naturally got into that conversation. But even then, there's something here about not doing that right away. Like, don't try to save them right away. This is giving very strong Cancer energy, and I love Cancer so much, or Moon in Cancer, Cancerian energy. I love that energy so much because they're so nurturing and so loving, and they just really do give their all. But there's something here about boundary setting within that. It's like, keep that shell just a little bit more closed, so that way you're not giving too much of yourself, especially when it comes to abandoned people, or sorry, people with abandonment wound. Because it makes it, what's the archetype? Is it anxious attachment style? Is that what I'm trying to think? I'm not sure. I haven't read up on that, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, people attach very quickly. So there's something here about attaching too quickly. But at the same time, because I'm thinking of the Reasoned card here. So like I said before, a lot of you are very intellectual, very smart. And maybe because of that, you think that, like, maybe you feel that your logic can protect you from things sometimes. And sometimes it does, and then sometimes it doesn't. There's something here about turning your mind off and allowing yourself to feel a little bit more with your heart, a little bit more with the soul, if you will, as well, because you already do that very beautifully. It's like, allow your soul to tell you, allow your soul to be the litmus test, if you will. Let it be the thing that guides you about whether you like this person or not. If somebody makes you very anxious, then quite honestly, they're probably not for you. If somebody makes you break out in hives, they're probably not for you. This has happened to me. I've been with somebody who, for whatever reason, I would always just get weird skin things going on. If somebody, I'm hearing here for somebody makes you, like, your gut very, like, it make you feel sick to your stomach for some reason. Again, that's quite literally the gut feeling here. Let me get your last cards before we move on. For my pile 1. A lot of you bring, like, a very strong sense of spirituality to the relationship, and I'm not surprised. After all, within tarot readings, I mean, you're already here trying to figure out why you're single. We have forgiveness 23. I'm not surprised because, like I said, we were talking about things from your past. You have to forgive the past, and you have to forgive yourself above all for the kind of person you were in your past. Because I'm feeling that some of you feel unworthy of a very dedicated and loving partner because of something from your past. I don't care what it was. You have to forgive yourself, because even right now in this moment, you are a new version of yourself. Even right now, tomorrow, within the next few minutes, you will be newer and newer versions of yourself. If in the past you've done things in a relationship that you're not proud of, you have to forgive yourself. Even if it's forgiving yourself for things that other people have done, it's like you have to forgive yourself for allowing, quote, quote, that. Or even feeling that you've allowed that somehow. That wasn't your fault, that was somebody else's. But somehow the guilt still weighs heavy on us sometimes, right? When somebody else has done something. Forgive yourself for whatever it is that has allowed you to be in that energy to let that happen. After all, we are all creators of our reality. And here, in taking ownership of that and forgiving yourself for allowing yourself to either stay with somebody longer than you had to, or ignore people's red flags, or just, whatever the situation is. Maybe you can even forgive yourself for forgiving somebody too much, if you want. But there's something here about forgiveness, letting go. In forgiveness, we let go. And in forgiveness, we set ourselves free. Which is very beautiful. We have some interesting numbers popping up. We have 23 and then 32. So these are mirroring numbers. We also have 17, 33, another mirroring number. Some of you could be life path 33 as well. I know I am. The ages of 23, 32, 33 could be of importance. Also 37, we have number 37 and 4. So very interesting. So you could have dealt with a life path 4 or a life path, what is this, 8? 1 plus 7, yeah, 8. Which is very interesting. What else is coming through here? Overall, it's forgiveness, letting go of the past, taking back your power, and allowing things to unfold. Because in calling back your power, I'm not saying that you're going to have power over every situation. It's more that you have power over yourself and how you conduct yourself within things. After all, we're all just along for the ride, and we can get off that ride if we want to. But there's something here about prioritizing happiness. What's underneath that? Space. Some of you, if you've been in a hermit mode, I feel like this is actually empowering you. I feel like you're allowing yourself to get the rest, confidence, sweetness that you need. It's like you're incubating in something beautiful. It's like you're mending the heart space that has been not just broken, but you kind of realize that it was in a lot more unstable energy than before. It's like you go in for a checkup and you realize, oh, wait a minute, it's been years since I've done a checkup on my heart space. Let me do a very thorough healing here, starting from age 0, starting from whenever I was in the womb, and every little thing there, we're just healing, sending light to every age and every instance, every specific event in your life that has led you into whatever space you are right now, that makes you feel that you're either unworthy or undeserving of a relationship, or that you feel you can't call in the right kind of people. Because I'm literally seeing some of you, you're gonna get with somebody that a lot of people may even think is out of your league. Either they're just really, really attractive, or they're just really, really like accomplished or even wealthy. And it's kind of weird. It's like, not only do you have your doubts, you're kind of allowing other people to give you those doubts. And I'm like, how dare they think that whatever it is that people really like about this person you're going to be with is like the only thing that they have. They could have a lot of money, but they might still have like wounds themselves. And maybe they like this about you, that you see through them and that they like you. Or maybe they're really attractive, but they they're not used to having somebody who treats them like a person, not just, a piece of meat or something here. There's something here about you bringing a different quality to this person. And on the outside, people will not understand it, but they don't have to, because it's not their business. But don't allow what they say to change your perspective about either this person, relationship, or whatever it is that you two have going on. Because I really do see that, which is unfortunate. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the tarot, because now I'm very curious now that I've seen a glimpse of that person. And I'm not saying that person is your forever person. I'm just saying they might be a bit of it's going to be an important relationship. And maybe for some of you, you already have been with this person, because if you know, you know. Or maybe that's even a pattern you have of like getting with people that everybody says is out of your league. And it's like, well, is everybody out of my league? Dang. Is everybody out of my league? No, that's not the case. Those are just, again, your own doubts and fears that are somehow incarnated around you in everybody else's BS. So let's go ahead and, now that we have some of the things that are keeping you from it, what can we do to put you in a better energy to be not so single anymore? Because for some of you, maybe you just want to date around and attract better partners, better dates, whatever. For those of you who are poly, again, you want to attract, better people. Whatever the case is, there's something here about attracting better and doing better. So let's start with, I'm going to do this A and B style, but the A is, of course, going to be you, anything that is going on with you. And then the bottom part is like, the situation or outside influences. So one is going to be internal, one is going to be you yourself, what you can do, and everything else underneath that is going to be outside influences, including other people that may be wanting to approach you. So let's see. What is one outer thing you can do? Seeker of Swords. Like I said, socialization is really going to help you out. Reach out to people that, well, maybe not reach out, but definitely speak with people that you typically don't speak with, or surround yourself with friends that you want, like whatever kind of friend you have, if that's the kind of friend you also kind of want to date, like for example, you have friends that are in a certain type of business or they run in certain circles, hang out with them if you want to get with somebody like that, is what I'm hearing. But regardless, don't be afraid to talk to many people. The Page of Swords is somebody who is like wanting to connect with somebody. It may not be the most eloquent, or it may be a little bit out of your comfort zone as well, but this is actually going to help you out. Something internal you can work on. We have the Ten of Swords reversed. So like I said, a lot of healing. But I feel like for the majority of you, you've already done the healing, or the majority of like the heavy lifting within your own healing. Like you've already done the heavier stuff. You've already done like the crazy, like the dark night of the soul. You've already gone through that, or maybe even a few of those things. So what you're doing now is rebuilding. You are taking in the stepping stones to get yourself out of it, if that makes any sense. The example I'm being shown, and I hope you don't take offense to this, I'm not saying this is what you've been through. It's like once you're out of rehab, you rebuild your life. That's essentially what I'm being shown. It's like you're taking that. Once you're out of the dark night of the soul, you start rebuilding your mentality, your thoughts regarding dating, relationships, people, the kind of people you're attracted to, etc. But I feel like a lot of you are already there, hence why you are here. All right, what's something about the kind of people you're attracted to that you need to know? We have 4 of Wands. Yeah, you just really like the exciting types, but there's a difference between like chaotic exciting and adventurous exciting. There's something about reframing that excitement. For example, and I feel like this would be my pile of people who are attracted heavily to like fire types or fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. There are those that, uplift people and influence people to just, be their best selves. And then there's like the more selfish and narcissistic ones. There's a difference here. There's good and bad in every sign. There's something about being attracted to the more outgoing, accomplished, fun ones that is going to be important to you. Yeah, because you're looking for excitement. Let's see, what kind of people are you attracting though? So this is what you're attracted to. Now, what are you actually attracting? The Sage. So maybe some of you aren't used to being with introverts, or maybe you're not used to being with people who work on themselves internally. I feel like you're going to be attracting more of that, but it's going to be on a more advanced level. You're not just attracting people with abandonment wounds anymore. You're attracting people with abandonment wounds who are aware that they have this and who are going to be positively influenced by you and how you've done your own healing so that they can heal themselves. So let's say you both had a very similar upbringing. Maybe you both have similar childhoods. Like maybe both you come from families where the parents divorced. It's like they wonder how you did it, and then they're going to take that into their consideration and do that themselves as well. It wouldn't surprise me if your person, this is Virgo energy, but for whatever reason, I'm getting that they're actually going to be a little bit younger than you, if not younger, then less experienced. Because when I think of Virgo, I think of the maiden, which is of course like inexperienced, quote, quote, the virgin, that kind of, not saying that your person is going to be a virgin, but whatever it is that they are going through, they're going to have less experience than you, and they're attracted to that, regardless of your age difference, if there is any. Definitely a difference in experience though. All right, and then the last one. Okay, this is going to be a little bit more direct, but how long before they find their next relationship, or once the singlehood, the dry spell ends? I'm going to get 2 cards for this one. We have the Queen of Wands. Not very long. You're already very attractive, and if anything is keeping you from being with somebody, it's yourself. It's you wanting to focus on you. It's you doing you, essentially, which is always great. I feel like that's a great reason to be single, because you just want to be and you want to focus on you. But it won't be too long before you start seeing all the offers show up, that's for sure. Yeah, we have this is the manifestor, it's the Magician. I'm not taking it reversed, even though it wanted to come out reversed. You can manifest anybody at any time. Honestly, pile 1, if you went up to somebody you were interested in and asked them for, either a date or not a relationship, I'm hearing more of a date, they would say yes. You actually have a lot more power than you realize. So I feel like the only thing keeping you from being in a relationship is you just not wanting one. I think deep down you kind of still don't want one, and like I said, there are things from the past you're still holding on to. Maybe it's somebody else you're holding out for. I'm hearing don't worry about them, go on dates anyway, don't worry about them, go on whatever. You have a lot more power within your dating life than you realize. The only thing keeping you from this is yourself, and I'm not surprised, because I kind of was feeling that. Is like, this person is very self-aware and very smart. I can't imagine that you would be somebody that people aren't already attracted to. And okay, let's see the outside influences, because I want to see what your suitors are. But let's start with how people are perceiving you on the outside that could be preventing them from approaching you. We have Temperance. So for some people, they are kind of aware that you are going through something. I'm not sure if you're vocal about it, or if they just know, or if you have friends of friends, they might even they might be aware of this as well. Like maybe, like I'm seeing friends ask friends about you, like a friend in common. So, and maybe like the people who are closer to you or the people who know you, they're like, oh yeah, well, pile one just got out of a relationship, or pile one's not really looking for anybody. I know they're just trying to have fun. There is talk about you, is what I'm hearing. Temperance is also Sagittarius, so something about the time of Sagittarius could be important, or people with Sagittarius placements could be the ones that are the most interested in you, that are asking these questions. Specifically, like either Moon in Sagittarius, Sagittarius rising, or Venus in Sagittarius. Maybe Mars in Sagittarius as well. All right, what do people notice about you internally? Okay, so you have a reputation for moving on quickly. And I'm not sure if this, is this reversed or not? I can never tell with this card because it looks the same to me both ways. So I'm just going to take it upright. You do have a reputation for moving on quickly, or people feel that you just have a lot of options and you might move on from them quickly. Like, I'm not sure why that is, but people think that, oh, you'll just date somebody and then move on to the next person if you don't like them. So there's an intimidation here of you being quick to move on or quick to lose interest, whichever makes more sense. Why are people attracted to you is my next one. We have the Three of Swords reversed. Honestly, it's the people who have broken your heart who are still attracted to you. You have quite a list of them. If there's anybody who has like rejected you, this isn't going to be everybody, so I'm not trying to feed delusions, but there are certain people that have said no to you that are still attracted to you. This would be the ex that broke up with you, but they still keep checking up on you. Or maybe you dated somebody for a little bit, but they were like, you know what, I'm kind of not ready for a relationship. But the truth is they're still very much into you. There's something about your energy that confuses people. And they're not sure why. And of course, you're not sure why either. I feel because you know how to pick yourself up and move on quickly. It's kind of like they were expecting you to be desperate over them or to kind of take you back. And instead it's like, no, you're not doing that, you know? It's very interesting. I might get a clarifier for that, but let's move on to the next one. The next person who's going to approach you. We have the King of Wands reversed. I actually got this in a personal reading earlier. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told them. So the King of Wands upright is somebody who's in control, but in this case, reversed. It's like they have control, but they're not overbearing about it. This person, they could be like a fire sign, but they don't come off as a fire sign, you know? I've met people like this, people who are like Aries or Leo, but they feel a lot more like a Pisces or a Cancer or a Virgo or something here. So this is going to be a fire sign, but they're adventurous for sure, and they like to be in control. They like to take the lead, but they're not overbearing, and they're very understanding. So this is somebody who's going to approach you. I'm not sure if it's the same person with the sage and with the hermit energy here. Like I said, if it is, I'm kind of thinking like Leo, Virgo energy or somewhere on the cusp of that. Doesn't have to be the case. It could also just be like a combination of fire with either water or earth here. Very interesting. And then people who are attracted to you. Let's see who some of your people are. I'm being told to get 3 cards because there's 3 main people here who are very attracted to you. One of them could be this person. We have the Sun. Yeah, that's Leo. So there's a Leo person out there who's really into you. We have Justice, a Libra person who's into you as well. The fact that this wanted to come out reversed, I don't think they're serious though. I think they just kind of like to flirt with you and they kind of like to keep you as an option. But they like you, and I feel like there could be a good friendship here. Oh, interesting. Judgment. This is Plutonic energy. This is a Scorpio and they're intense. This person, when they come through, they're looking for something serious and they don't want to be played with. But they don't want to show it, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, okay, so you got like... So they could be a Scorpio. They could just be very Plutonic, like they have Pluto in a very important aspect within their chart. I'm thinking Pluto on the ascendant or Pluto on Venus, Pluto on the Sun. 7th house, I'm hearing 7th house Pluto. This would be a relationship that really transforms you. I feel like you may have to choose. Definitely this Libra person, I feel like you keep them as a friend, but I don't think you really want anything to do with them. But it's flirtatious for sure. But it's between this Leo-ish person and this Plutonic Scorpio-ish person. Oh, the Sun. So somebody with a very heavy Sun as well could be important here. Like they have a lot of very confident energy. Very intense and very confident. You are attracting those people for sure. Back of the deck, we have the Chariot. And you might date all of these. You might date just one. You might have to choose between them. Overall, though, I feel like you do have a lot of options and you're just not seeing it, or you just don't want to entertain it. Or maybe you're aware of these options and you're just, you know how you say you want something, but once you get there, you're kind of like, I changed my mind, or you know what, I'm actually not feeling it. That's what I'm feeling for you, pile one. Like, you're aware you have options. Maybe people have even told you they like you, and it's like, oh wow, I've been wanting to go on a date for a minute, but now that it's here, I'm not feeling it. But take that as you will. You can always say yes, even if you're not feeling it, because sometimes we just need to push ourselves. It's like, you know what, I'm not feeling it, but I want to have a fun time. Let me give it a try. It's all up to you. I'm not saying that that's what you should do, but maybe for some of you, you might end up doing that. So let's go ahead and get some closing advice cards for you. We're going to use the cards to get some quotes regarding you or how people view you, or anything that might resonate with you. She gathered me, man, the pieces I am. She gathered them and gave them back to me in all the right order. This is Toni Morrison, beloved. There's something about you that is just very transformative to people. You heal people, which explains why you attracted that plutonic type of person. It's like they love a good renewal. They love a good rebirth. And there's something about your energy that really gives that to them. Same thing with the sun person. They love to better themselves always, because sun energy is always looking to improve upon the self. There's something about you building people up, and people who, I mean, they're already built up themselves, but you building them up a little bit more is what is attracting them to you. Same thing with Libra. Especially if this is like a more indecisive one, they kind of like your sense of direction. Let's get another one. Interesting that they're both blue, specifically this shade of blue. Maybe some of you look good in this color. She couldn't make him look just like any other man to her. He seemed to be crushing scent out of the world with his footsteps, crushing aromatic herbs with every step he took. Spices hung around him. He was a glance from God. Zora Neale Hurston, their eyes are watching God. Like I said, a lot of you, your next person is going to be very attractive, or there's something about this person, like they're going to be a straight 11 out of 10. Regardless, I'm not saying that you're not attractive, pile one. I'm just saying, like, it's going to be hard to ignore how good looking they are. It's going to be hard to ignore that, or maybe they're in the public eye a lot. Like maybe they have like a social media account where they take a lot of pictures of themselves, or maybe there's just something about there's something about them that stands out, and you're going to feel that you don't own up to that, or that you don't match. But the thing is you do. Something about their scent could be very important as well. Maybe they have like a cologne with a certain spice that you like, or that smells really good on them. Maybe it's because I'm thinking of how certain scents smell better on certain people, and this person might wear a scent that you typically don't like, but for some reason it works with their body chemistry, and it's just like, wow, I didn't think I would like, you know, wood scents like this, but this person carries it off well. Or I don't usually like sweet scents, but this person just really, you know, they carry it off well. Whatever the case may be. Let's go ahead and get your channel messages. This could be from, I'm intending this to be from either spirit, your own heart, or from somebody who is into you here. In general, just about yourself. So for my pile one. Okay, these two came out. I have trust issues. I know that I messed up, but I lied to myself about it. So you have trust issues because somebody messed up and they don't own up to themselves about it. And this could be, for some of you, it started with a parent, and then this started showing up in other people as well, like a partner. So the reason you have trust issues is because somebody here doesn't know how to apologize. And I feel it's mostly your, oh my God, my throat. Yeah, somebody here has throat chakra issues. I feel like it's a parent or somebody from your past. It could be a partner who was very deceitful. Like, I just feel this person, they do not own up to it. The best way to get rid of this, though, is to just forgive them. Even if you feel they don't deserve it, just forgive them. It's like, whatever, just, I forgive you for your bullshit, move on. You know, tell them to move on. It's not you moving on. Well, you're also moving on. Oh my God, why is my throat closing up? Pile one, I recommend throat chakra clearings, like the frequency of throat chakra. I want to say it's like 741 hertz. Whenever you're doing this forgiveness practice or meditation, because there's something about clearing the air here, clearing the throat as well. I get lost in you. You're very easy to get lost in, pile one. You're very much an experience that people love to be within. I feel especially I'm hearing that like either your lovemaking or your snuggle, something about your physical experience, it's easy for people to just get very hooked on it. I can't get enough of you. Yeah. I feel like whoever you're calling in, they're going to be a little bit obsessive, but not in an unhealthy way. It's just going to be like very all-consuming. From the moment I saw you, I knew you were the one. You do have a person you're going to end up with, and this person, they're going to know right away that you're the one, because they're going to be, I'm not saying they're going to pursue you relentlessly, but they're going to be very serious about it. They're going to be like, they're going to tell you upfront what they want. They're going to like, yeah, they're just going to be very honest with you, that whatever it is that they want. I stalk your social media platforms. This could be you, this could be your person, this could be each other, especially if you meet through social media. You might just be like keeping an eye out on each other a little bit more than usual. Not necessarily stalking per se, but you know, you're just really looking at, you know, their pictures, their content, trying to get to know them through the things they create, which I feel is like really beautiful. Last one. I'm stringing you along. I have ulterior motives. Someone in your past did this, and I feel like this could be the person that messed up and lies about it. Like maybe they're trying to tell you, oh no, I didn't do that, but the truth is they did. And it doesn't matter whether they intended to do this or not. They could just be very, very unaware of themselves. Or maybe they were taught that this is how you just play the dating field, and that's unfortunate for them. But again, forgive these things, because it's not about you. It's about moving on from this energy, knowing that, okay, it happened, and that sucks for the person who did it to you, but you're better than this, you've evolved, and it's time to move on to better things. But this is where I leave it, pile 1. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. I am sending you so much love, so much healing, and above all, take care. Hello there, pile 2. If you chose the red jasper heart, then we have a reading here for you about why are you still single. We're going to be seeing what is keeping you from entering relationships or finding the people that you are meant to be in relationships with. We're going to be seeing anything that either is affecting you personally or maybe outside factors as well. So for this pile, it's very strange. I was getting the message that not everybody, but some of you are actually here for this pile to check on somebody else and why they are still single. Whether it's a friend, maybe somebody else that you know that is really good looking and you're just wondering why are they not in a relationship. That's okay, no shame here. I mean, I'm pretty sure their higher self appreciates the concern. Or if that's not the case, maybe for some of you, there are people who have been pressuring you to get into a relationship, specifically to settle down and get married. Again, that's not everybody. But there's something here about outside influences coming through already, and I'm getting like a weird feeling in my body. So that's just confirmation that, yeah, for a lot of you, there's outside influences. But let's go ahead and look at the cards that you chose. We're going to do the oracles, giving us an overview, and then we're going to get more detailed in the tarot. We have delays and blocks. Your current love situation is affected by delays and blocks. These blocks may manifest as a result from someone not fully opening up to a situation or facing something. I'm hearing that some of you have an ex influencing this, like for whatever reason, your ex's energy, or even a friend that is like very overprotective. There's a very overprotective energy surrounding you that you may not want meddling in your energy. So this could be, I see this a lot with parents who don't want their kids to be with somebody, or they feel betrayed if their if their child chooses another partner, and somehow they feel like there's codependency here. That's not going to be for everybody. And hopefully this message comes through, because whenever I channel this kind of energy, sometimes my camera or the video will do weird things because it tends to be rather strong. For some of you, like I said, it could be an ex who still feels that they are hooked on you for whatever reason. And sometimes it's legitimate reasons, like maybe you have a child with this partner. But for the majority of you, there is somebody here in the way of this. Their energy still surrounds you. So let's go ahead and get more cards. For some of you, the delay could just be something to do with some of you are needing to move somewhere, and this is where you're going to meet somebody. And again, the reason why you are stuck somewhere could be, again, because of a partner, a family, something is quite literally keeping you from moving to somewhere where you're going to meet this person. Yeah, some of you, you're going to find your person not where you are currently living. Yeah, this is going to be my pile of people. You have a lot of outside influences, maybe too many meddling influences as well. We have Typhon, Anger, Rage. So Some of you are afraid to anger somebody. Some of you are afraid to anger, like I said, family members, a former partner. Maybe some of you still live with your ex. I know that can be a common situation. Back of the deck, we have heliocycles. A cycle needs to be broken. A cycle or a pattern, or in some cases, ancestral patterns slash quote, quote, curses sometimes as well. There's something that needs to be broken in order for something to move forward. And I know this sounds a bit daunting, but I promise it's nowhere near as difficult as you believe. Sometimes it's just a structured pattern within your subconscious that you need to be wary of, make conscious, and then release. Let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards. Yeah, you could have an overprotective parent and you're afraid of making them angry, or maybe you're just into certain people that you know your family will not be okay with. I sometimes get this from people who are still in the closet, even though they're well into their adulthood, and they very much are like you. For example, like people who are in the LGBTQ community who are very accepting of their own, sexuality here, they may still be closeted to their family. And this itself could be preventing them from finding somebody or settling down. We have better than you can imagine. This is nice. Let me get something else. Because I feel like this needs to be clarified. Okay, 2 more cards. Transformation. Number 42, 39. And get out of your head. So some of you, you're actually, like I said, there are certain mentalities or subconscious patterns here that you're not aware of. And you need to bring them to the conscious to make something a reality here. It's kind of like I said, you're afraid that something won't go right. But I feel like if you were very honest with your community, your family, the people around you, they would actually accept it and embrace it a lot more than you realize. I feel like a lot of this worry, a lot of this doubt is actually within your own heart, within your own head, in your own mind. Like you've built it up to be something a lot more heavy than it is meant to be. Pile 1 had something similar, but not in the same vein. Like they also had this particular card, get out of your head. So there's something here about stepping out of the head and into the body, into the consciousness to see exactly how you can break these patterns. And how patterns are broken is different for everybody. Some people break it just by being the most authentic and true version of themselves, by being unapologetically themselves. And some people do it by, doing the meditations, doing shadow work, etc. I think it all depends on what your modality is to break a pattern. Some people break patterns by doing, and some people break patterns by going inward. And neither is wrong, right or wrong. It all depends on what works for you. So let's go ahead and get more cards. So what emotions are coloring this? Okay, this one, we have stop. Yeah, it's quite honestly, there's like literal stops here with delays and blocks and stop. There's something in the way of you. You know what this is? It's kind of like, this is an example, so this isn't going to be what's actually happening unless, of course, it resonates with you. You may know somebody who is into you, or somebody may be into you, and you might have like a friend or a friend of a friend, somebody that knows the both of you, and they want them to introduce you to you, but this person is like very consciously and actively not introducing you to somebody. That's the energy that I'm getting. Like there's somebody out there for you and somebody is refusing to allow you to meet. It could be an energy, it doesn't have to be a person, or it could actually be a person. Because I feel like somebody has asked about you. Again, whether it's like the universe asking about their soulmate, or maybe quite literally somebody asking a friend if they'll introduce you to you, or if, they'll invite you over, or something along those lines. Yeah, because there's something in the way here. Quite literally, something or somebody has to get out of the way in order for you to meet your person, or to meet the next person you're going to date. It could also be, of course, like your own career or your own inhibitions. But for a lot of you, there's somebody in the way of this. Somebody that knows that you're into somebody, or that somebody is into you. And they refuse to let you two come together because they know once you do, like, it's end game, it's over. Like you two are just bound to be together. Yeah, because I'm seeing quite literally a friend that knows that 2 people would just be very into each other if they got together, and they don't want that for whatever reason. Whether it's their own jealousy, whether it's because they like somebody else, or they just don't like to see somebody happy. And I feel like that person has to step out of the way, because I don't like that. I think this person doesn't even mean anything evil. They're just in a weird energy. Like they themselves don't like relationships and don't want to see other people in relationships. That's very specific. So take that if it resonates. But even without that influence, like there's something specific there for some of you. We have intuition. Intuitively, you already know who the people I'm talking about are, and intuitively, you already know what these blockages, what these people are. And what I'm really seeing is that you have to decord and detach from a lot of these people and the influence they have over you. And I know this can be difficult, especially within cultures where family is very important, where everything that your mom or dad or siblings say is of importance to you and you listen to them. I've known people like this. It's very common in my culture. It's like, oh, well, my dad said I can't be with someone like that. I'm not going to be with someone like that. Or my mom doesn't like these kinds of people, so I'm not going to be with these kinds of people. I need you to ask yourself how honest you are to your own self when you follow that particular mindset of somebody else. Because people who truly love you, family included, will be happy with whatever makes you happy. I'm not sure who needed to, balance. Like, yes, take their opinion into consideration, but also make yourself happy. You're here to live your life for yourself, not for somebody else. And it's unfortunate that I actually knew somebody once who didn't really marry somebody that she was very much into until her father passed away. Her father was already very old, but her father would not have approved of that marriage because of the race that they had. So that's what I'm seeing, and I feel like you don't deserve that. You deserve to be happy right now in this moment. So ask yourself whether this is even fair to yourself and to the people around you. I feel like people who truly love you want to see you be very honest with yourself. That was a very profound message. Let's get the rest of your cards though, because we're not even done yet. So that could be one heavy aspect that is weighing you down. For some of you, it could be friends that are like family. Does that make sense? Like if you really take your friends' opinions into consideration, like maybe your friend always told you not to get with somebody that is, XYZ, so you take that to heart and you don't. I've seen this. I've actually been with people who decided not to be with me because their friends didn't approve of me. So I feel like I understand this energy, and it's unfortunate, really. But let's go ahead and see the rest of your cards. We have romanticism. You're a very romantic person, Pile 2. You're a very romantic person, and people see this. And maybe some people, you know what this is? Sometimes I see this in people that they just love romance so much that they feel that if they were in an actual relationship, the romance would die or it would go away. Like they love the onset of a relationship, they love the flirtationship, the courting, the dating. But when it comes to the actual relationship, it's like the romance dies. So that may not resonate with everybody, but for some of you, it's kind of like the thought, the idea, the fantasy of a relationship or a romance is a little bit stronger than the actual relationship itself. We do have Neptune here, so some of you could have very strong Neptune elements in your chart, or you could be a Pisces. Or again, have strong Pisces in your chart. Specifically, Venus and Pisces is coming through, as well as Neptune on the ascendant or on the sun, or on Venus itself. And then back of the deck, bliss. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'll tell you what, Pile 2, if you don't already, your love life is going to be very fulfilling, or the dating life you currently have is very fulfilling. But I feel like for the majority of you, it hasn't happened yet. And when it does, it's going to be something rather amazing. We have Jupiter here, which is good luck. And I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to be very lucky with the person you end up with or with the people you end up dating, because they're going to be very giving. They're going to spoil you a lot. They're going to do a lot for you. It's very beautiful energy that I'm feeling from the people coming in. They're going to change you in a way that is very positive. And this is why I feel like whoever is keeping you from meeting the people that you want to meet, they need to let it go, because look, if they truly love you, they want to see that within you. They want to see you happy. But I feel like for some of you, you might have either family members or friends who kind of don't want to see you happy because they themselves are not happy. So they feel that if you're in that energy, that you won't want anything to do with them anymore. And it's very odd that there's like a very heavy, like I said, there's people who are very invested into why you are, like whoever you're dating or whoever you're seeing. Maybe somebody here is watching this particular pile to see whether somebody is actually dating somebody or not. All I can say is that there's a lot of meddling within your energy, and it needs, like, you desperately need to cleanse and detach, unhook energy from others coming into your life here. Specifically, this person who is very angry. Yeah, because I'm thinking of a specific example of somebody I know. I'm thinking of somebody I know whose own mother, like, she has such a strong influence. She won't let him date anybody, and he knows, like, he never wants to angry his mother, like, make her angry. So it's like, I understand what that is. Like I said, it's prevalent in my culture. Even after a few generations of being in this country, it's still prevalent within my culture. So let's go ahead and see. I'm Mexican American, by the way, that's what I mean. So Mexican, or maybe even Latin American countries. But I feel like the whole being attached to a parent can be in any culture. So just take it as it resonates. Let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards. Why is pile 2 still single? Or why are they choosing to remain single? I feel like for some of you, you might be choosing to remain single. We have, oh, let me make sure I pronounce her name right. Vajra Yogini, the essence of all Buddhas. I have the power to make each moment sacred. Everything is material for my liberation. Oh, I like that. Everything is material for my liberation. Vajra Yogini. There's something here about stepping into your energy of freedom that is going to really allow you to have, like, a very abundant dating life. And what I mean by that, because this is going to be my pile of people who either you've never left home, or you're still very attached to your family, parents, friends, or you're still very young. Like, I'm getting very young energy, specifically like early 20s. But even if you're not that young, you might still feel that you are, because again, you never left home, and that's not a, or haven't left home yet. Let me put it that way, because you will eventually, you'll have to. So yeah, this, like, let me know where you're from, pile 2, because I feel like a lot of you could be from countries like my family's country, where, like, people stay with their family until, you know, they get married and then they move out. That's what I'm getting. But for some of you, it's kind of like you've internalized this whole ideal that you can't date until, you know how parents jokingly say, oh, you can't mate until you're 50 because they don't want you to date? That's what I'm getting. There's an overprotective energy here that really needs to be released. Because honestly, I don't care what age you are, pile 2, assuming you're over 18, you can date whoever you want at any age. But there's a barrier that you have really, really embodied from somebody else to just remain single, because you don't want to upset somebody. All right, let's get last 2 cards, I'm being told, maybe more. For pile 2, what is keeping them from liberating themselves? What's keeping them from being in a relationship, or even just dating? What's keeping them single? Untamable. Somebody feels that if you ever start dating, they won't be able to control you, which makes sense. It's like they don't want outside influences influencing their, like, I don't know who it is who is very demanding of you or who wants to control you, but they know once somebody else comes into your life, they're gonna have to share, quote you, with them. And that's not fair, because you don't belong to anybody but yourself here, pile 2. And if anything, I feel like this particular dynamic is just going to make you seek people who are similar and controlling to the person who is currently having a very heavy influence over you, which is part of the reason this person really needs to let you go, because it's setting up unhealthy dynamics with other people. Let's get one more card. We have psychic. You know what's interesting, and this kind of has nothing to do, well, it may or may not have anything to do with your dating life. You're a very intuitive person. You're a very psychic person. We have 2 cards confirming that here. But it's like you're choosing to remain. You're choosing to not listen to your intuition to appease somebody or something else. It could be a whole culture. It could be somebody specific. It could be a friendship group. But you're doing this because even though your intuition tells you to do something else, you're listening to somebody else instead. So what they're doing is taking away your power. And like I said, that's not fair to you. What's the back of the deck? Self-centered. Yeah, you're dealing with very selfish people, and maybe you don't want to see them as selfish because you really do adore them, or they're really good friends or really good family. They do a lot for you. You don't want to see them as self-centered, but the truth is there's something here about this particular person who they just want to have more control over you, or they want to have a say in who it is that they get to choose for you. Maybe for some of you, you're dealing with parents who want to choose your spouse. I know certain parts of the world still do what's it called, still do arranged marriage, and they feel that they can choose better for you than you can choose for yourself. And maybe in some cases you have had relationships that didn't play out very well, or maybe you've been heartbroken and they want to use that against you as well. And it's unfortunate because honestly I feel like I'm not sure how aware you are of the people around you and how they're influencing who you're dating, but I feel like you just either you're afraid of your own liberty, or you've been told that you can't make decisions on your own. And that's unfortunate because you really can. And even if you don't make the best decisions, they're still your decisions to make. These are still your mess ups to go through, because that's part of the human process. We're not going to be 100% perfect every time, but even if we mess up, we need to pick ourselves up and move on to the next thing. So yeah, maybe the next few people you date may not be the best, but at least it was an experience. And I feel like somebody here can't keep protecting you or babying you or trying to guide you in whatever it is that they want you to do, because like I said, somebody here is controlling you a bit too much, and what you need is a lot more freedom before you're able to step into relationships or able to break the singleness of you. Because there's something here, I don't know, whoever this person is, they need to mind their business essentially. But let's go ahead and move on to the tarot portion to see a little bit more specifically why you are still single. Because this was dealing a lot with outside influences, and I do get piles like that where like everybody else's influence comes through. And I want to see a little bit more specifically what you can do in order to break this. Besides date in secret. I know that was something I came up with right away. I know sometimes people will just date in secret and not tell anybody. And maybe you've been forced to do that, or maybe you're thinking about doing that. And that's okay for a moment, but after a while, because after a while everybody needs to find out, or people will find out. Especially for those of you who come from like small towns. So for my pile 2, I want to thank you for being here and letting me do this reading for you. After all, this has been a very interesting reading so far. Okay, the tarot portion. I'm going to do this in 2 sections. The top row is going to be you, what is keeping you single, and then the bottom row is going to be outside influences or anything else that wants to come through. It's going to be a little bit different from pile 1, because in pile 1 there was like a specific person coming through for somebody. But here I feel like you have a few more barriers to go through. And of course, if this isn't resonating, we do have other piles for you to choose. So pile 2. Externally, what's keeping you? We have divine feminine. So this would be a mother figure. This would be a very motherly figure, specifically one that you put at the center of your universe, or that you really, really heed the warning of. Somebody who has a lot of control over you. Or that you just really respect. If, like, again, they don't have to be mean, nefarious, or evil. It's just you really value their input. It could be a grandmother for some of you. What's going on internally? We have the 7 of Swords. You lie to yourself about what it is that you want. You're not very honest with yourself about what you truly want. And I feel like you have to, at the very least, start admitting to yourself what you want out of life, not even just out of relationships, but out of life as well. It's kind of like you've gaslit yourself. You gaslight yourself here sometimes. All right. What does the universe want pile 2 to know about this situation? I'm being told the rest of the cards are going to be just that. Well, yeah, 3 and then 1 more for something else. Okay. So pile 2, what does the universe want you to know? We have the Hermit reversed. So your era of being a hermit, somebody who just doesn't really speak to anybody, somebody who keeps to themselves, is about to end. Because it's time. I'm hearing that it's time for you to shift. In fact, I am recording this in the Libra new moon, Libra is a sign that does tend to deal a lot with one-on-one partnerships, with relationships and um, social situations. So I feel like, especially if you have very strong Libra placements, or look within your chart where Libra is, there's something that is about to change for you. You're no longer going to be in hermit mode. You're about to step into the spotlight. Let's get another card. Two of Cups. Yeah, somebody is going to come into your life that is really going to make you want to change things. Whoever this person is, you're going to have a very emotional rapport with them, maybe even psychic, because we did have intuition and psychic, so it could be very divinely fated. You're going to meet somebody who is going to make you want and or need to change this. Very strong energy here. Like, this reading got very serious for me, pile 2. I wanted to keep it light and I wanted to keep it cute, but there's something very strong that you are leaving behind. This could be you moving out of the house, maybe for like a career, and then you end up meeting somebody, and that's what I'm feeling is going to bring a big shift, and you might decide to keep this person secret from your family. Let's get one more card from the universe. We have the Chariot. Yeah, it's like things will progress forward, but you're going to take it slow. You're going to have a lot of, it's like hesitation. It's like you're on the train and you have a few stops and you have multiple times that you can stop within the same area, but you hesitate every time. But it's time to get off it's time to get off the train. It's time to get off the merry-go-round. It's like, hey, there's a stop here. We're gonna have to stop in this area soon. And not to give you any sort of anxiety, not to give you any sort of this isn't meant to worry you. This is going to feel very natural. I feel like if you do have any sort of fears here, it's your own, because like I said, this is new energy. This is a new type of situation. I feel like you will keep this person a secret because you don't want the backlash, but at some point it's going to be made known who this person is and what it is that's going on with you. Okay, and I'm glad I did this because now that I have this Two of Cups as confirmation, my last card was going to be anybody else coming in, and I thought there would be nobody coming in, pile 2, because your energy is actually not so much that of somebody who is calling in anybody. I feel like the universe is literally sending you somebody, even though you're not manifesting this, even though you're not really like, your vibration is not that of, hey, date me, I want to date somebody. It's not that, but they're sending you somebody to break this. Whether they're going to be in your life forever or just for the moment, it will all depend on you. Well, let's see who this person is, or any sort of indication of who it might be. I'm hearing don't look for them, they'll look for you. But regardless, let's get a card. We have, the Nine of Wands reversed. This person will defend you and protect you. This person is going to make you bring down your guard. Like, you're going to want to be very vulnerable and very open with this person. And it's going to be very different. If you're typically not a very emotional person, you might be very emotional with them. If you're typically not very outgoing, you might be very outgoing with them. I'm seeing specific traits about you that you didn't know you had are going to come through with this person. They're going to bring out a side to you that not a lot of people see, or that you yourself didn't realize you had within you. This could, like I said, divinely guided. And some of you may even know who this is. Maybe there's already somebody in your life who is like this. And the only reason you're not with this person, again, is because of their societal your societal expectations here. Maybe theirs as well. Maybe they have something similar. But this person is, I'm hearing Miley Cyrus, I came in like a wrecking ball. They're just knocking down those barriers that you have, not boundaries. They're knocking down the barriers. There's a difference. A barrier is like a fence that you put up to protect yourself. A boundary is something that you set there to keep respect between you and somebody else. What you have are barriers, not boundaries. I hope you understand the difference. Let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards though. So outside influences. This is going to be very interesting. Outside influences that are keeping you from finding your person. What's keeping you single? We have the Ace of Cups. Can I get a clarification for that? Though I still see this as this new person who's going to come in and try to win over your family and your friends. Like, this person is really going to make an effort to, like, you know, just charm everybody, charm the socks off everybody. We have the Queen of Swords. This person is very witty and very intelligent. Like, this person, they know how to work a room. They know what to say at the right time. They could be very fluent in several languages, or at the very least very smart. Feminine energy letting me know that they will not be overbearing. So even if it's a man, they're going to have like a very they're going to be in touch with their feminine side, and this means that they're going to be able to speak in a way that people like. They know how to speak to people, they know how to charm somebody. This is very nice energy from this person. Whoever this person is, they can speak to anybody and anything. They could have a lot of air in their chart as well. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Okay, internally, how is the outside world affecting you? Ooh, Knight of Cups. I feel like you have several admirers, honestly. This could be a case where you get like a lot of romantic attraction at the same time and you don't know what to do with that. But then like somebody comes through and they're the one who kind of claims you, because there's just something about their energy that you're really attracted to, that you feel vulnerable with, you feel safe with even. All right, let's get a few more cards from the universe. What do they need you to know? How are they influencing? We have Judgment here. Yeah, the awakening. I like this because it feels like it is truly an awakening. It's reversed, letting me know that you may have some sort of... It's going to feel a little... How do I put this? It's going to be... You're going to think it's a little tiresome or difficult, but it's necessary. And I think when you look back on this, you're going to realize it wasn't that bad of a thing. It was just a lot for you because you were releasing a lot of energy. You were releasing a lot of people who have way too much of a claim on you, too much of again, the controlling energy. Whoever your friends, family, whoever this is, they were far too controlling. So this is you becoming independent. This is you liberating yourself. Let's get another card. We have the Six of Cups reversed. It's kind of like you're maturing here, because usually sometimes Six of Cups can be childishness, but reverse lets me know that you are letting go of a lot of your childlike fears that you used to have about meeting somebody, or that you used to have about commitment, that you used to have about the dating life in general. This is you letting go of those childish tendencies or mentalities that kept you in this energy of being single. Very interesting. I'm hearing some of you could actually get more advice in other piles as well, because this particular pile, we're dealing with something very specific to do with the family and friends and your growing up. So for some of you, it's going to be a combination of this pile and something else. So if you recall to any other pile, you can go there. I typically don't say that. I'm just saying that because this particular energy is very specific. All right, let's get one more card, specifically about your person. Even though they've already been popping up a little bit here. We have the King of Swords. Yeah, I feel like this person is going to be a very strong counterpart. They're going to be very, very intelligent, very smart. They always know what to say. They always have a game plan. You're not going to have to worry about anything. This person does all the thinking for you. I think you're going to really like this. This person... they might like to play board games, video games. they need that mental stimulation, so they enjoy that. Again, air sign or air signs within their chart, even if they don't have it within their chart, they could just come off that way. Like maybe people assume that they're like some type of air sign. So again, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. I feel like this person is very social as well. They're going to introduce you to a lot of people, and they're going to want to introduce themselves to your people. Like you don't have to go out of your way to socialize anything or anyone. They're going to do it all because they enjoy that. This is going to be somebody who likes to talk to people. So it's going to be very natural when they strike up a conversation with your parents. Yeah, I kind of like this energy. I feel like this is somebody that you've needed. It's quite literally a breath of fresh air. We have the Knight of Swords. It's reversed, letting me know that you're going to have a hard time communicating with your family. They may not, but you will. And I think that's interesting. So there is one little thing to note here. Make sure this person doesn't speak for you. You still have to learn to speak for yourself, because it might be very easy for this person to want to assume responsibility for you. It's kind of like they're going to want to talk to your parents when really it should be you. I feel like that might be a boundary that you do need to set with this person. Even though they break down the barriers that they need to break down, you still need to set up those boundaries and make sure they're intact. Because like I said, they're going to come in very strong. They're going to want to do a lot for you. They believe in interdependence as opposed to codependency. Like they believe that, you should rely on each other for certain things, but not be heavily dependent on each other. This person is they're very interesting. I like their energy. It's very light, it's very free, very freeing as well. They're going to want to liberate you from a lot of your old baggage. So I kind of like this. I wasn't expecting this reading to be why are you single and who else is coming in, but so far the first two piles, that's what it's been. So let's go ahead and move on to some closing advice, pile 2, because this reading started off as something that I was like, oh gosh, I'm not sure if I like this energy, to something a lot better. And of course, this is only if you want to claim it. If you do not want to claim this, you don't have to. But let's get your advice cards. We're going to start with the quotes here, the I am so totally into you deck. Any other reasons why you are still single, or anything we need to know about pile 2's upcoming love life. Sometime day breaks in my life. Sometime the sun shines in my life. Sometime things work out right in my life. You are my sometime. Sweet honey in the rock sometimes. Sometime. It's kind of like I'm hearing that whatever this is, you bring a lot of light into people's life. You bring a lot of good things into people's lives. This includes the people who are already close to you. And I feel like that's why they kind of want to keep you to themselves. But I feel like when you find this person, they're going to see all of that and more. And it's going to be very hard for them to let you go. You have a type of energy, pile 2, that people just get addicted to very easily, very quickly. It could be because you just have such great energy, or because there's something about you people just find very easy to love. So I do see a lot of good things coming through and for you here. Beautiful energy. You bring a lot of light into people's lives. Back of the deck we have, I was just thinking of pistachio ice cream for some reason, or pistachios in general. Maybe you like that. But anyway, it was a great kiss. If one of us had been a frog, it would have had some seriously impressive consequences. Lorelei Gilmore Girls. So there's something here about kissing frogs, and or something about the kiss between you and this person that is just going to let you know that it's, that this is going to be something serious, that it's going to be something great, amazing. Very beautiful energy, truly beautiful. I love it for you. Let's go ahead and get some channeled messages. This could be from I'm gonna do a few. So first two are going to be from the people holding you back, or the situations holding you back. I know that I messed up, but I lied to myself about it. So somebody here is aware that they're holding you back, but they don't want to admit this to themselves. Like subconsciously, and their higher self probably do know and understand this, but their ego is like, oh, well, I didn't do anything wrong. Because there's a bit of a selfishness here to somebody that you may not want to call selfish. Pile 2. Let's get another one. Air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So this person could also be an air sign. I feel like you may just attract a lot of air signs. Let's go ahead and get one from your higher self and the universe. What it is that you need to know. I keep hearing our songs wherever I go. So you're going to be hearing a lot of specific songs about your future love situation. Like there could be a particular song that like tells a whole story of how two people meet or how they fall in love. And I feel like it's going to be very similar to that. You will know because you'll think about it when you meet this person. Or you may hear the song when you meet this person as well. And then one card from your future person, whoever this person may be. Because like I said, a lot of you are getting somebody. Okay, we got 2. I've been asking around about you. What did I say, pile 2? There's somebody here who knows somebody is into you and they don't want you to get with them. And then I'm not as attracted to you as I used to be. How am I meant to take this? So there's somebody here. I'm being told the opposite is true of this, but this is like the only card that can actually describe this. This is going to be somebody who at one point wasn't that attracted to you, but now they are. And they kind of want to get to know you. So they're asking people around. Or it could be the person that is keeping you two apart. They may stop being attracted to you and just be like, okay, whatever, go ahead, let's go see pile 2. Very interesting. Let me know if there is a friend involved, because it's just odd that somebody's like gatekeeping you. But Yeah, this is where I leave it, pile 2. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. I am sending you so much love, so much goodness, and a lot of luck with your situation. Take care. Hello there, pile 3. If you chose the hematite heart, then we have a reading here for you about why you are still single, what is keeping you from coming into union with either your next person or a person in general. We're going to see if there are any factors, inner or outer, that are keeping you from being in a relationship. And for some of you, if there's any reason as to why relationships don't seem to last, or I don't know, any sort of blockages there that has to do with relationships. Okay, pile 3, my throat has been hurting so much ever since I started recording your reading. So, excuse me, reminder to drink water, stay hydrated. But there's something here you're not talking about that I feel would actually help if you maybe spoke to either a friend or a loved one, or maybe somebody you are interested in about. I mean, the opposite could also be true. Maybe for some of you, you are speaking too much about something. But usually I get this when there is something about feeling like something is difficult to talk about. Yeah, this is very odd. Let me take a moment. I want to see if I can clear throat chakra. Okay, let's just start with your cards. We're going to look at the oracle cards to see what the landscape of your singlehood is, and then we're going to go into the tarot to see more specifically what's going on. We have reunion. This card stands for reunion with your family and friends. There is a feeling of harmony and celebration. Significant people from your childhood and past lives could be coming back into your life for a particular reason. I'm not sure if you've been manifesting somebody or if they're just coming around to kind of finish out a cycle or a lesson or some sort of situation here. But I do feel that somebody from your past is going to come back around. It doesn't have to be a romantic partner. It could be somebody that kind of shaped the way that you view relationships. So, for example, this could be like a parent, or maybe a parent that has been distant, or somebody who has shaped your relationships. Maybe it's like your very first relationship or your first crush. There's something here about the past coming back around, kind of to empower you to move forward. I'm thinking very specifically when people go back to their hometowns and they see the people that they went to school with, and they look at the people, that they used to have a crush on, or people who have changed or haven't changed. It's that kind of energy. So something is going to come back around, mostly because you've been avoiding it. This is the energy of a runner for some reason. So I'm not calling you out, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that either, pile 3. But the energy I'm getting from you is that of a runner, or at least when it comes to relationships, you may be this way. And the reasons as to why you do this, it's all up to you. Like, I'm not here to judge. I just feel that when it comes to relationships, there are things you keep secret, or things you don't really talk about with other people. And I feel like this has been preventing you from really being very authentic with the kind of relationship you want, or the even if you want a relationship. This could be my pile of people who are actually reluctant to be in connections, but you enjoy, dating and flirting, etc. Take that as it resonates. But let's go ahead and start with your cards. I'm getting strong Sagittarius energy for this one. A combination of Sagittarius and another mutable sign. Okay, that is weird. Something about talking in this pile is so difficult. Why is that? But Sagittarius and either Virgo, Gemini, and Pisces. So a combination of that. You could have a square within some of these, because I've seen this before. So I recognize the energy, and I've been this before as well. I don't really think I have that type of square, but I have a cardinal square, and it's a little similar. We have metamorphosis. Yes, you are still going through a metamorphosis. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how many relationships you've been in. You are going through some sort of metamorphosis, whether it's like a small cycle of one, or if it's been like one big grand one that's been going on for years. 34 could be an important number. Maybe you are the age of 34. We also have attract through glow, 18. Attract through glow. I do feel that what people are attracted to you the most is your inner light. I'm not saying that you don't have other qualities, of course, but I think like in the end, when people really have to decipher what it is that you have that other people don't, it's your inner light. So they could be choosing between you and somebody who is equally as attractive or who is very similar to you, but what ends up winning people over is your inner light. And I feel like when you attract people through light, unfortunately, you can also attract not so great things like what's the saying, mosquitoes are attracted to light because that's where they know they'll find their food. So you could attract, energy vampires as well as people who, really do like your light. I feel like that's a part of you that you are kind of very wary of. It's like, you attract all the good things as much as the bad things, or maybe it's because you've been attracting a lot of negative energetic leeching people that you're kind of done, or you're kind of wary of, as to why you can't seem to find either the right kind of people and or your person. Because I feel for this particular pile, there's a sense of frustration because you seem to attract people. You definitely do. But I feel like you've been attracting the wrong ones. And that's really what you want to know, is not why you're single. Because I think you know that if you wanted to, you don't have to be single. You could go pick out any person out of the pile of people that are waiting for you. You just want to know why the people you're attracting are not of higher quality. Because I do feel this sense of insecurity within you, not because of yourself, but because it's kind of like, if this is all I'm attracting, is this all that I am meant to ever attract? And I'm here to tell you no. So I guess for you, we are kind of tweaking the question, why are you attracting the people you are attracting? And I meant to do a reading like that a while ago, but I just have never gotten around to it, so I may do that after this actually. Okay, so let's get more cards for you, pile 3. We have caution. Yep, there it is. You're just very cautious. It's kind of like you want a relationship, but you're not going on the dating apps, not because you don't want to, but because, again, the selection of people or the dating climate is just something that you're not very, like, it's unimpressive. It's depressive, actually, considering that you may not be seeing the right type of person. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I told pile 2, even though pile 2 had a very different situation. You might just be in the wrong environment for finding the kind of person that you need. So if you are still living, for example, in your hometown, like, clearly you've already witnessed that energy and nothing is there for you. So maybe a bit of a move could help. I'm not saying online dating, even though that would be easier. It's more like when you step into different physical areas, you become a different person, or you may even shine a little more, or you become different. So therefore, it becomes a more authentic part of yourself that is able to attract a more authentic partner to you. Let's go ahead and get another card. We have magic. I'll come back to that one because I feel like I need to get a few more cards to describe that specifically. Back of the deck, stop. Yeah, some of you have been thinking about stopping. Some of you have been very much in an energy of like, I think I'm just gonna call it quits. And I won't tell anyone, pile 3. Like, you may even be saying actively, I don't want to date, I don't care about love, etc., etc. But then you're here because you're genuinely curious as to why you are single and why you can't find somebody. So, and there's no shame in that. You deserve to know. You deserve to be shown how you can improve your love life, even if you don't want one, even if it's not at the center of your world right now. All right, pile 3. We have feelings. 2 ways to take this. Either you are afraid of your own feelings, or you've been attracting people who are afraid of their own feelings. I feel like when it comes to relationships, you may even be ignoring your feelings. Not specifically your intuition. It's just kind of like, and this is a mentality I used to have, still kind of do sometimes. It's like, if you care too much about somebody, they're more likely to break your heart. So you might end up going for people that you don't really feel too strongly for. Like, they may still be wonderful people and there may still be something there, but it's like your emotions are neglected. So you may have the best relationship ever with somebody who doesn't really take your feelings into consideration, but they're still a nice person. Does that make sense? I can only explain this astrologically. I've been in probably one of my longer, more successful relationships with somebody who didn't have any sort of aspect to my moon. So, we were good friends. We've traveled. We did a lot of great things together. We lived well together. But my relationships
my feelings within this relationship felt very ignored or just not spoken about, even though everything else was good. That's what I'm getting for you. You might actively seek relationships like this, or you may only be calling in people like this, because the thing is, you have to take care of your own relationships as well, or you have to make, I keep saying relationships when I mean feelings. You keep ignoring your own feelings as well, or you have to make your feelings known to people, especially if you have something like moon in the 12th house, which is what I have, and which is why I suppressed my feelings for so long, and therefore the relationship couldn't flourish, because even though everything else was fine, this person got so used to not having to deal with feelings, and I got so used to suppressing them and have them not be acknowledged. And once we tried that, it was something so foreign to the person I was with that it didn't work. It was like that missing puzzle piece that you were trying to make fit into a connection, but it wasn't even a puzzle piece that was meant for that puzzle. It was meant for another puzzle. Even though everything else was otherwise great, like the puzzle's all completed except for this one piece, but this piece doesn't go here, so is it really complete? No, that's the analogy I'm seeing. So this could be something similar here. So when it comes to your relationships, you really have to look for somebody who will meet you at your emotional level. The moon sign placements for you are very important. Make sure you are having, astrologically speaking, make sure your moon sign is being very positively aspected in some way, shape, or form. So that was very specific. And even then, feelings are important, we like to pretend, even those people who are as unemotional as they can be, feelings are still important, because a lack of emotion doesn't mean there are no emotions. It means that those emotions are not being acknowledged in a way that they should be acknowledged. It's a lot like a love language. Like, everybody has one, and it should be catered to at least regularly for romance to blossom. All right, let's get more cards for my pile 3. We have Aries, war. You might be drawn to Aries types. You might be drawn to very action-oriented people, which is great, but I feel like the downside of that is that you could also be attracting people who are just a little bit too aggressive. Not towards you, though maybe for some of you that is the case, and if so, I really am sending you a lot of love, because you did not deserve that. But it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, for some people, they're attracted to that power, but sometimes with that power come people who don't use that power in the best way. They misuse that power. And I feel like this is something you may have had to deal with, or something that you are trying to avoid. Maybe you've had a background of this. Maybe you've seen this play out in your childhood with other relationships around you. This could also be that you just, if it's not aggression, it could just be somebody who's very controlling. Maybe you're very attracted to controlling types, because you yourself may not want to have to make all the decisions, or you feel that you don't make the best decisions. And this again goes back to childhood. When you have over controlling parents, you tend to choose over controlling partners, because that's the main way that you know how to function. So this is something that I could see you trying to grow away from and doing your own thing. And even though you yourself may already be in an energy where you know how to make your own decisions, you may still be attracted to this for whatever reason. I'm going to get another card from this deck. Osiris, renewal. Yeah, metamorphosis, renewal, and magic. I feel like you're going through a massive transformation when it comes to relationships right now at the moment, pile 4. Sorry, pile 3. I keep misspeaking here, and I know it's that throat chakra energy, but it's also combined with the third eye. I feel like, and this happens a lot when people are dealing with growing out of a situation where you've been controlled, where you feel that you cannot follow your own intuition, even though it's very much there. You feel like you can't follow your own gut feeling because you've had somebody else make a lot of decisions for you, either in the past, distant or current. So I feel like for you, you have to really learn how to trust yourself when it comes to, well, 1, your life in general, and 2, the decisions you make within a relationship, as well as about relationships. Because with Osiris here, we have Isis bringing him back from the dead, putting him back together. And you could see yourself as Isis here, where like maybe you feel that you've had to, if like I feel like for you there's been two main types of people you've had to deal with, either people who are very independent and very controlling, they do their own thing, or people that you've had to put back together and do a lot for them. And it's odd how like the energies here, red and purple, a combination of the root and intuition. Again, this is you trusting, because when I think of root, I think of trust. Trust in your own body, trust in the way you move through life. And then your intuition is trusting that you know what to do, trusting your own mind, trusting your decisions. You're going through a deep renewal of what it is that you want in relationships and what it means to be in a healthy, functional relationship. Let's go ahead and get more cards for you. We have Queen Esther, the Morning Star. My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. Yes, I kept talking about trust, and here she is. You're learning to trust your own self. You're learning to trust your soul. And it's like you're doing everything in your power to cater to yourself. And you kind of wonder if there's even room for relationships with this new version of you. And I'm here to tell you, yes, the right person will respect this. Yes, there will be room for somebody who completely respects this version of you. And I feel like it's going to have to be somebody new. So even if you do come into contact with somebody from your past, I'm not sure how they would adapt to the new you, especially if it's like an ex. The ex would just want whatever they had in the previous, the previous version of you. They would want that back. And that's not fair, because that's not who you are anymore. So it would have to either be somebody new or somebody who's gone through just as much change as you have. Because, and I'm hearing for a lot of you, it has to be like, if it is someone from the past, it's gonna have to be from so long ago that you are literally no longer the same people. Like, I'm talking about years and years of work that they've done, or maybe even, it's been, for some of you, I'm hearing a decade or decades. So take that as it resonates. I'm not trying to say that this is the person that you just split up from, because I'm not getting that energy at all. Though if you do run into them, again, it's to show you what you no longer will put up with. Because they may try and treat you the same way they used to, but new you doesn't do that. And the new you doesn't put up with the old energy, with the old habits. All right, let's get 2 more cards. Pile 3. What you're going through is heavy. I can promise you that. Even if it doesn't feel heavy, and again, it doesn't even have to be too traumatic, I still feel like it's like a big revolution. We just had the eclipse in Moon in Libra. What is it, the new moon? Yeah, so it was the Libra eclipse, both the sun and the moon in Libra. And if you have anything like Aries rising or Libra in the 7th house like me, then like I said, it's going to be a renewal in relationships. And Libra rising as well, or Libra in the 1st house. We have Wild. This new version of you is going to be very different. We have Coral Sun. A lot of purple and red, like I said, 3rd eye and root. It's kind of grounding your energy to see your intuition clearly. It's kind of grounding your intuition, because sometimes our intuition can get ahead of us. Like intuitively, we know several paths that people can take, and we assume they're going to take the best path. And that's not always the case, because people's egos get in the way. People's attachments to either certain mentalities or other people also get in the way. So, and I'll explain this in a moment. I'm just getting one more card. Peaceful. Yeah, you are seeking peace. If it doesn't bring you peace, it's not for you. So the way I see timelines sometimes, and I've had to learn how to differentiate this from like the reality, I will see the possibilities of people intuitively of what paths they can take. But the thing is, we see it in an ideal way, or in a more perfect sense, where if they didn't have any attachments, if they made all the right decisions, this is what would pan out. And this is why sometimes future readings can be like 50-50. Like there's only a percentage of that coming true, because the other part is, what attachments are they making to other people? What are they choosing to hold on to, and what are they refusing to let go of? What influencing factors are there? I've met people that I could see myself having a wonderful future with, but unfortunately they were holding on to the expectations of of the environment around them, of the people around them, and of their own ego. So, you know, that never panned out. There would only be like a 10% chance that that would happen. Same thing with our own futures. Sometimes we see like an ideal future, but it's like, what are we refusing to let go, and what's hindering this? And I feel like this goes for you as well, pile 3, because even though, like I said, you could easily pick up a relationship at any moment, I feel like you have no lack of suitors here. The problem is the type of suitors you want. Because there is a side of you that you are attracted to things a little bit more wild, maybe even quarrelsome. And I feel like you understand these are aspects of you, so you are like, well, of course I'm attracted to that. I am like this as well. I don't back down from an argument. I stand up for myself, and I like to have fun. But there's a sense that you can have all of this and have your peace too. Like, it can be this way and not toxic, because there's like a fine line between something becoming an unhealthy dynamic, an unhealthy relationship, and something becoming, you know, just exciting and cute and cheeky. And I feel like this is something you've had to learn. Sorry, my throat chakra just keeps closing up and being all weird and getting scratchy. But let's, if this sounds like you, if this sounds like something that you're going through, let's go ahead and move on to the tarot portion, because I want to see more specifically what is going on here. I do feel, well, for my previous piles, I was picking up on like future potential person energy. I'm not sure if I will get that for you as well. And the only reason I say this is because, like I said, you already have a lot of people. Like I literally feel eyes on you. I literally feel like you're going through your list of either contacts or through a dating app or something. It's like, well, here's all these people who want to get to know me. But then you have that first conversation and it's like, never mind. Because I'm quite literally seeing dating apps and how even though you may get like, oh, you know, hundreds of people a day liking your profile status, whatever, none of them pan out, or they all just say and do the same things, or they may all just want to be there for like a hookup and you're like, I'm tired of hookups, I want something else. Yeah, I'm sending you so much love, pile 3. I love you so much, but I feel the disappointment and the, what's the word, the apathy, I guess. All right, so we're going to do this kind of A and B style. The first row is going to be you and your own perspectives, your own blockages, the parts of you that are keeping you from finding a relationship or what are keeping you single. So externally, we have five of wands. You're how do I say this nicely? You're hard to approach. I think in real life, you're a little bit hard to approach because people feel right away the defensiveness that you have, or that you are somebody who is not to be taken lightly. And I feel like this is both a good and a bad thing. Good because, you know, you scare off people who only want to play around with you. Bad because you might scare away potential people who might be very opposite to you. Maybe you're just scaring off the people who do not like confrontation. And maybe you need somebody who doesn't do confrontation. So let's go ahead and look internally what's going on. Another way of seeing the Five of Wands, though, is you could be going through something with an ex. I'm specifically seeing, like, if you have any sort of, I'm hearing a court case or, like, the law being involved, especially if you have children with them, or if, like, it kind of, you give off the energy of somebody who is going through something with an ex, like maybe you're dealing with selling off property or moving apart from each other. Maybe it's become very obvious or public as well that you and somebody are no longer, even though you're no longer in a connection with them, like people see that as like a potential block. It's like they don't want to deal with somebody who is still dealing with their ex in some way, shape, or form. Just take that as it resonates. Internally, what's going on? We have the Three of Swords reversed. I read this sometimes as you breaking your own heart before it's even broken. I feel like, yeah, like I said, this is the disappointment. This is the resignation of just like, yeah, there's nothing out there. Why do I even try? Let's go ahead and get what the universe, spiritually, energetically, what's going on. We have Two of Cups. The universe is going to send you somebody. It could be a friend who maybe gives you a different perspective, or a friend who, like, you know, is able to tell you exactly what you need to hear regarding this. Like somebody more 3D who is there to like give it to you straight. But it could also be a new potential partner or a date or something here. I feel like the universe is trying to send you people, but you yourself are blocking them off from the universe. I feel, and that's common. Sometimes you'll know that somebody's into you, and this somebody could be really great, but you're just like, I'm not feeling it. I'm kind of getting that from you, pile 3. And of course, you don't have to accept this, but at the same time, I feel like if the universe keeps sending you somebody, and maybe this somebody is a little insistent, it's like, hey, let's go we need to go out sometime. Let's go out sometime. Let's at least have coffee. I feel like you have to at least hear them out, because there could be a revelation within that particular outing or encounter that is going to show you something that you need to know, or a perspective that you need to witness. So I'm not saying you have to marry this person because they come along. Like, I feel like, and I see this a lot in dating apps because I've literally been on and off of them because I've been single for the majority of this year. Some people are just very black and white. It's like either you're all into me or you're not. And I'm like, what happened to casual dating? I can't just be all in if I don't even know you. You know, people online that I meet online, I was like, I can't be all in if I don't even know you. And of course, I am in my 30s, I'm in my mid 30s. So the people that I'm talking to that are this way are, you know, men in their 30s and late 30s. So there's something here about all in or all out that, well, one, I think for me, my generation has to let go of. And two, that it's just a mentality that isn't going to help anybody, especially in the beginning stages of dating. Of course, take that if it resonates. I feel like either you witnessed this and you're kind of done with it, or maybe you yourself have been this way, because I know I have been that way as well with people who just want casual things. But it's like there has to be something between casual and completely committed, you know? I feel like that particular gray area is diminishing for whatever reason, because the age ranges that I'm dating are like, you know, mid to late 20s to like mid to late 30s. All right. And early 30s as well. Like, I guess mid 20s to late 30s. Let's see. Fourth card. Let's just get 2 more things that you need to know. Oh, okay. I'm hearing the fourth one is going to be something you need to let go of. Something or someone. Okay, there we go. Divine Masculine and Ace of Cups. I feel like this is just reiterating what I just said, that every new person who comes in, you can't just start seeing them as like your end all be all, or even just give them the room to be what they need to be when they first come into your relationship or when they come into your life. That was very strong with me when I started my whole dating experience, because I took some months off to not do anything, and then I started, and the message I kept getting was just let it be what it needs to be. Let it be what it needs to be. And I feel like it has to be repeated here for this particular pile 3, because I feel a lot for you. Like, I understand this energy. Let things be what they need to be. I feel like a lot of you are seeking a divine masculine. This is the Emperor card. Regardless of your own gender or regardless of what you're into, you are seeking somebody who will, again, this is that Aries energy. You're looking for somebody who is going to step up to the plate, but you have to allow there to be a rapport between you and somebody and a friendship before they can even think of deciding what they want to be with you and for you. Maybe some people have been scared off this way, it could be either from on their part or your part, maybe both in some cases. Either you expected them to be this emperor right away and they were like, no, I'm not ready, or they expected to be an emperor in your life right away and you were like, I'm not ready. So take it how it resonates and whichever you identify with more. If you yourself identify more as the emperor, same thing. I feel like you could be either or. Like, things were getting started too soon in the beginning of a connection, and you have to give it time. Even if you feel old, even if you feel like, oh, I don't have time. There is something here about letting things blossom the way they should. Let the emperor come through on his own terms. Nobody can tell the emperor what to do any more than they can tell the empress what to do. You know, they are not meant to be bossed around. They come through when they know they are required, when they know it's time. Let's get one more. I want to know about the reunion card because I'm sure some of you were wondering, oh, is someone from my past coming back? Because, you know, both in a good and a bad way. Some of you don't want somebody from your past and some of you do. So, Ace of Wands. There's somebody new coming in. If there is somebody from your past coming in, they just want you for the physical, something physical here, whether it's what you can provide for them physically or, you know, the getting was good. This would be my pile of people who if your exes come back around, your exes miss the physical intimacy, that's for sure. And maybe you attract a lot of people who, again, only want physical intimacy with you. So do be wary of that. Even if you're typically somebody who's okay with casual intimacy here, don't do that anymore, because what you're doing is setting yourself up for a pattern that you don't want. Even if you are, I don't care how detached you think you are, and I'm saying this with so much love, and I'm saying this as somebody who needs to hear it myself as well. Like we're both being called out here, pile 3. You are setting yourself up for a pattern that you do not want within either a relationship or relationships in general or your own dating life. So give it time. Give it time. Do be flirtatious, do, you know, be cute and coy, but just don't give it all away on the first outing, the first date, maybe even the first week. You have to set a boundary with yourself, honestly, because for a lot of you, you may be wanting this, but you have to set a boundary with yourself. Okay, let's look at outside influences. What's going on? This pile, it's very much like you, like your own internal influences are playing a factor here. Okay, so externally, what's going on? We have strength. This one wanted to come out. I mean, look how it is. So, 7 of Wands. I feel like you hold yourself very accountable for the things that you do and for what happens to you. And I'm very proud of you for that, pile 3. I feel like people prefer to shift the blame onto other things and other situations before they take accountability themselves. But believe it or not, you're doing the opposite. You're taking too much accountability for what people have done to you. And it's kind of like I'm seeing people throw their baggage onto you and you taking care of it. When the truth is, decord from these people, and I'm hearing send it back to sender. Send the baggage either to the light if you want to, or to back to the person. I prefer to send it to the light because I personally, when I send baggage back to the sender, it's just a cycle. It's a negative cycle. It's a downward spiral that I do not care for. So there's something here about, nope, this baggage isn't mine actually. Let me let it go, recycle it, throw it in the trash. I will not take care of it because it was never mine to take care of. And I will take accountability for my own things, but not somebody else's baggage. Because I do see that people kind of just want to dump onto you their energy, their emotions, their whatever. I've been on dates with people, have conversations with people who all they want to do is talk about their own feelings and they don't want to talk about mine. That's what I'm seeing for a lot of you. It's like, why are you somehow the therapist to this person, a free therapist, you know, when you're either on a dating app or on a first date or something along those lines. It's kind of doormat energy that you might have that you are not aware of, or even that you don't want to take on, but for whatever reason, especially if you're very empathic, it's easy for people to do this to you. You just have that natural energy, and I feel like you don't mind it. But when it comes to people overstepping their boundaries, I feel like this is happening a lot. Like, it's time to stop taking accountability for other people's garbage. It's not yours. It is your the only thing you have to do is make sure you clean yourself up after all their garbage has, touched you. But other than that, like, that problem is not yours to solve. It's just kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like people have been. I see people, like, I'm seeing that scene from Titanic where Rose is trying to swim, after the ship has sunk and everybody's like in the water. Rose is trying to swim away and find, land or something to float on. And there's that guy who like keeps trying to get on top of her because he doesn't know how to swim, but he's trying to drown her. That's what I'm seeing. This is what people think they can do to you. And honestly, it's annoying me because I feel like, where do people get off thinking that you're there to just be, if you're a woman and you see this sometimes, like, men will want you to be their mom for no reason. And it's like, I'm not here to be that. I'm here to be your partner. And I guess women may or may not do this as well to men. But I feel like I don't know. Whichever gender you identify with, whichever parent you feel that, whichever parent, just fit in your pronouns and words here as you see fit. Okay, what's going on internally that the environment is affecting? We have the King of Wands. You really do attract a lot of controlling people. I think because you yourself may give off the impression that you are very, easygoing, and you just, you go with the flow, or you're willing to do whatever your partner wants, that people who are very controlling can come along and tell you what to do. But at the same time, I feel like you're attracted to that. So like I said, double-edged sword here. So there is something here about, let me get one. There's something here about, of course, this could be fire signs. I just don't want to give it like a particular astrological spin on this, because I'm not saying there's anything wrong with fire signs, but the negative side of fire signs is that they can be overly controlling. And the positive is, of course, that they're charismatic and they do a lot, and very vivacious. But I feel like you've been attracting people of this fiery energy, both good and bad. All right, universe, what's going on? Ace of Swords. I'm getting the rest of the cards. I just want to see them all laid out. Knight of Pentacles. So I'm seeing a specific person come through. Ace of Pentacles. You have all the aces, by the way. Ace of Wands, Cups, Swords, and Pentacles. Pentacles and Swords are reversed. Back of the deck. King of Swords. You just don't want to be played around with anymore. I feel like you're tired of the manipulation. It's like you have a specific type, and you know that type may not be good for you, so you're kind of tired of it. And it's like, why is this the only thing I'm attracted to, and or that I am attracting? And what I'm seeing here is that you're not giving it enough time. I feel like that message bears repeating. Because the Knight of Pentacles is somebody who's going to take the time, and they will not get tired of you. This is not somebody who's just going to come in with a flash and then leave as soon as, they lose interest. This is somebody who's going to keep showing up for you consistently, even in small ways. I think specifically in small ways. And what you're going to have to do is detach, because the Ace of Swords reversed is detachment. Ace of Swords upright, you have an idea and you want to move on with it, or you want to keep building on it. But you have to detach from the suitors that are around you. You have to detach from the people. Like, yes, do show an interest. Yes, go ahead and do your flirtation, but let go of any outcome. I feel like that, again, bears repeating. To let go of the outcome, to let the beginning, just let those beginning stages of a connection go on for a little bit longer than you want. Because there's something about building a good foundation here, especially with the Ace of Pentacles reversed. I feel like in the past, if things didn't work out, it's because the foundation wasn't there, or you wanted to move on very fast. And again, it hasn't, regardless of your age, regardless of what's going on, what's meant for you will not pass you by. What's meant for you will be there. What's meant for you, you will not be able to ignore, and you will not, miss out an opportunity on. Because sometimes I get readings like that, or sometimes there's like, I feel like sometimes people want to say, oh, if you don't act on this now, you might miss out. And I'm like, no, because if it's really meant for you, you shouldn't be hasty about it. If it's really meant for you, like, it will be there. And if you miss out on that, well, good luck, have fun. I'll go move on to my next thing, It should be like a train or a bus that keeps coming around every few minutes. The right bus will come to you. In fact, I had that very experience at the airport the other day when I came back from my trip. Like, we kept having to wait for the bus to come every 5 minutes. And when it was finally my turn to get on the bus, I actually got on the bus that was bigger than the other buses. The other buses were smaller, more compact. They just looked a certain way. And when I waited for this bus that took us, it was the only bus that I had seen at that moment that was like bigger or maybe newer. The person on the bus was very helpful. It was just like, oh, okay, I see why I had to wait a little bit longer than everybody else. I got on the bigger bus. Of course, that's non-consequential. I feel like any bus would have been fine to get me to my destination, but it's just showing you that if you wait at the right moment, you will get exactly the right person, and that person will not pass you up. They will wait for you, you will wait for them, and it will feel natural for this. But yeah, I feel like your era of
dealing with a lot of very, I'll just say it, very toxic potential people, or even toxic people from the past, is coming to an end because you are going through a transformation and you are focusing on yourself. But let's get your closing advice. Let's get your closing cards. For my pile 3. Anything else that wants to come through about your singlehood? Why are you still single? Let's turn loose our golden falcons so that they can meet in the sky where our spirit belong, necking like 2 hot kids. Hafiz, why just ask the donkey? Why ask the donkey? Why just that? You know what I'm hearing when I say that is like, why are you asking the donkey out? Like, yeah, I feel like whoever it is that you're meant to be with, there is going to be a bit of a spiritual connection here. And by that, I don't mean that you're fated to be together. I mean more that your souls will meet and your souls will kind of have their own thing going on, and you will not be able to ignore that itself. And your person will feel this as well. It's kind of like I'm seeing 2 people that meet, and even though they may not be each other's type, even though they don't know anything about each other, the energy they feel when they're together is just, it feels very light and very lovely, that they can't help but like turn towards each other and be like, hey, you know, it's like the soul connection comes first and then everything else follows. So it will feel easy, it will feel fun and light, an emphasis on the lightness. And it's almost like the world falls in place for the both of you to come together. Back of the deck. I know you and adore you in all your ways, your quirks, your imperious demands, your extraordinary gift of yourself, Henry Miller. Yeah, and this person will adore everything about you. Let's go ahead and get your Enchanted Love Oracle cards. And I'm going to get a few different ones. One is going to be from the universe, things you need to know. And one's going to be from anybody who is coming into your life. So from the universe, what do we have for pile 3? Okay, we got these 3 cards. I adore you. There's something here about adoration. I find you so beautiful. I'm coming back to you. I'm not going to lie, pile 3, and I kind of didn't want to say it because I don't want to give you false hope. I do feel someone from your past is going to come back. But it's going to be up to you to decide whether it's actually meant for you or not. Because I feel like people do find you very beautiful and they do adore you. And there's something here that if they have changed, if you have changed in a positive way and in a way that feels light and easy, then it's worth it. But you will know because the energy of this and the energy I'm feeling right now is so different from the onset of this particular reading. The energy I'm feeling right now is very light and very easy. I feel like things will just fall into place for the both of you. This could be a situation where you just keep running into each other. And it's like, hey, let's just go out one time and see what's going on. Or, hey, let's just have a conversation. Again, not to feed delusions. If this was a person who was awful to you, it's not them. This might be somebody where things never got off the ground, or maybe you had to separate due to weird circumstances, like maybe a job situation or somebody getting in the way. Let's go ahead and get 2 more cards. And this is actually meant to be from the person, even though I feel like these 3 cards are of that person. So the next 2 cards, what does the universe have to say? I have so much passion in my heart for you, it scares me. Okay. So whoever this person is, I feel like they're already with you in spirit, and I love your lips. Yeah, this person is with you in spirit already. And I felt that as soon as I got this particular yellow card. Back of the deck. I'm scared of falling in love. I feel like this person at the beginning was kind of scared of what a relationship with you would entail. I didn't mean for this particular reading to take such a weird turn. I feel like maybe a lot of people logged off at the tarot portion and now we have something different coming in. Sometimes that happens. It's interesting how readings are, how the energy is. But there's somebody here coming back, and I'm not here to tell you whether it's, you know, whether you're meant to be with this person or not, but I feel like you need to have either, if it's closure that you need with this person, it could be that, or if it's like a new beginning, it could be that as well. If it's a new person, which for the majority of you, this is, they've been meaning to tell you things for a long time. I feel like they've had a crush on you for a while. This may be a friend as well. But
This is where I leave it, pile 4, or sorry, pile 3. Some of you may go on to pile 4. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. I'm sending you so much love, so much healing, and so much light, as well as the strength to set up the boundaries that you need in order to heal. I'll see you in the next reading. Take care.
Hello there, pile 4. If you chose a smoky quartz heart, then we have a reading here for you about why are you still single. We're going to see what is keeping you from being in a relationship, meeting people to be in a relationship, or whatever the case may be as to why you are currently not in a relationship. So right now I'm hearing that a lot of you are very busy with specific things that are kind of preventing you from making time for a relationship. And you mean it. And for the majority of you, you actually mean it. You are too busy, whether you're juggling several jobs or taking care of your own children or family, whatever the case may be. It's like you would love to be in one, but you don't seem to have the time, or you just have other things going on. Maybe you're going through a situation that requires a lot more of your energy than you would like. So when you say you're busy, you mean it. Some people say they're busy and they don't mean it, or they just start trying to let down somebody very easily, and not trying to own up to, the reality or the honest truth. But for you, no, you actually mean it. So maybe people have accused you of being insincere, or trying to be deceitful. But I think if people were a little bit more understanding of your situation, they would see why you wouldn't even bother with a relationship, because I feel like people do have an interest in you romantically, and maybe you have it as well, but there's something here about you being busy. We have not for you. This situation and person is not for you. The universe wants better things for you. Rejection is the way your spirit guides protect you from something that is not in your highest good. This could be whoever you had on your mind, but it could also be that at this moment, the dating life or the romantic aspects are just not for you. I feel like some of you are in a transition phase between one either way of being to another, or one place to another. So if you're seeing that you're having a hard time making ties with somebody here, it's because you're about to shift into a different way of life or a different way of being. It's like if you're going to temporarily stay somewhere, you're not going to bother setting roots there, because you're going to go on to something else. That's what I'm seeing strongly for you, pile 4. Let's go ahead and move on to the rest of your oracle cards. And the oracle cards are providing us, the landscape, the overall themes. We have jealousy. So can I show this? I want to say this is fine. I might cover that. But it shows like a woman in bed or on the couch eating, I guess, ice cream. And in the shadow, it's like, I wonder if this is her wondering what her man or woman or whoever is up to. I'm feeling jealous. So I'm getting several things from this card, and the first one is someone here feels jealous. You could be dealing with a jealous person, or somebody who feels jealous that maybe it's not jealousy. What's the word? Somebody who requires a lot of attention, and they don't want you focusing that attention anywhere else. I'm specifically thinking, I don't know why the movie Priscilla is coming to mind. I watched it recently, and you know how Elvis, and this is kind of known fact, there's a book about it, there's no real spoilers here, but he didn't want to be with a woman who had her own career, because he wanted all that attention from a woman to himself. So the reason he stayed with Priscilla for so long, the reason he kind of committed to her or wanted her in his life, even though she was very young, is because she didn't have anything else going on. She was very young. She didn't have a life of her own. She just was there for him whenever he needed. So I feel like some of you might be dealing with a partner that is this way. If not a partner, it could be a family member. And if you have children, well, they are this way because they do need the attention. They're growing up, they're going through they're learning how to be a human. They do need attention. So the jealousy isn't so much that somebody is jealous, it's just that somebody requires attention. Of course, you could see it as you being jealous of the freedom everybody else has, and you don't seem to have it, and you're kind of wondering when this will stop or what's going on. I do feel this is going to be my pile of like single parents, or if not single parents, then maybe you are looking after somebody and that's requiring you to not be able to have a dating life. So my heart goes out to you, pile 4. You're very selfless in the kind of life that you lead, and I do believe you deserve somebody who is understanding of this.
Yeah, I'm being shown a lot of movies. I'm being shown Lilo and Stitch, how Nani has to keep rejecting David, not because she doesn't like him, but because she's got to look after her sister or she could lose her. But whatever this is, I do feel it's temporary. I don't feel this lasting forever, pile 4. So let's get the rest of your cards. It could also be that previous jealous partners have kind of made you not want to be in relationships, or maybe your own jealousy, the way that comes out sometimes, is something you don't like, so you just decide not to be in relationships. Strong Scorpio energy. We have Teresa Valvola, Our Lady of the Interior Life. I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the presence of love is real. So quite literally, you could, because I'm thinking of how she's a nun, and maybe you just feel like a nun because you have like no romantic life, no. Some of you may not have an active sensual life either. I'm kind of wanting to get another card for you from this deck.
But yeah, there's a feeling here that you still very much have love within your heart. It's just the dating life itself that seems to be something almost like a foreign concept to you, or something that is out of the way, like something that you feel you don't deserve. That's why we have the not for you card. You feel like it's not meant for you. And you're right to some extent, at least in this current moment. Whatever you have around you right now is not what you need, whether it's the people, whether it's the town you are in. We have Sarada Devi, the Divine Mother. Unconditional love exists within me. The presence of love is the absence of judgment. 2 cards about unconditional love here. Well, this one isn't about unconditional love, but there's something here about unconditional love that you may have for either the people around you or that people may have for you. I'm seeing one particular individual that there's a bit of unconditional love here between you and that person. This person could be like a very dear friend of yours that you would take up on their love offer. So somebody you would be attracted to, but it's like you don't have the time for that right now. Like I said, Lilo and Stitch, Nani and David are coming through here. So yeah, there's something here about also Divine Mother. So maybe somebody's mother is at play here. This could be your own mother. Maybe you're looking after your mother, or you are a mother yourself. But yeah, my heart goes out to you, pile 4. I feel like you deserve so much more than this. And maybe one thing that is getting in the way here is you understanding that you do deserve all of this, that you can have all of this and more. Let's go ahead and get more cards. For pile 4. Even if you don't have anybody that you're looking after, even if you don't have anybody in the way of you going after like a relationship, pursuing a relationship, it could just be that you are very preoccupied with, for example, maybe you are in between homes and you're trying to look for somewhere to stay. So like I said, you're not setting roots anywhere because you have that. Or maybe there are certain financial or career situations that are preventing this. For some of you, it could be school. Maybe you have very intense studies coming up. We have inner conflict resolution. It's kind of odd. It's like you're at conflict with yourself, or you have inner conflicts, private conflicts, really, that you don't feel like sharing with anybody else. Or maybe you have tried to share these with, potential people, potential romantic partners, and they just don't seem to care. And I feel like that's one way for you to test people out. It's like share a little bit of your problems to see how they respond, maybe advice they could offer. It's kind of like, do they care enough to help you out? If not, then there's nothing there, because sometimes people can be pretty selfish. People can be pretty self-centered. I'm specifically thinking of, like, for example, if you do have children, whoever it is that you end up with, they should be able to take care of your kids as well, because that goes along with you. Believe it or not, I have seen people, more specifically men, that do not seem to care for their partner's child. And it always astounds me. It's like, how does someone just think they can get into a relationship with somebody and like not care about their child? Like, I just don't understand it. And children of all ages, young small ones and older ones as well. I don't know, maybe you've had to deal with somebody like that. It could also be the other gender as well. I just say men because that's what I've seen mostly. But there's something here about you needing to resolve things on your own. there's a sense of hyper independence within you, and I feel like it's admirable, truly. But I feel like if there is meant to be anybody in your life, they have to also be able to take on certain things with you, and not and they should be okay with it. They wouldn't feel burdened by this, because I feel like whoever it is you're meant to be with, they should be very understanding of family, of your situation. If they're not making your life better, they're not for you. Maybe you already know and understand this, and maybe this is, like I said, you're in the wrong environment, because wherever you are, I feel like you just wouldn't find people like that. You would find people like that elsewhere. Let's get another card. We have see beyond the past. Yeah, there are certain past situations or aspects of the past that you're kind of still holding on to. It's kind of like you've been traumatized by previous individuals, partners, situations, and it's like, I don't have the energy, time, and effort to go through that. I have other stuff to deal with, so I will not even bother. That's what I'm seeing for you, pile 4, back of the deck, Master Manifester. If you don't already have this mentality of being a master manifester, you will. You will become exactly that. You will manifest exactly the things that are meant for you, the things that you know will help you. I feel like in the past, oh geez, why am I getting so emotional? I feel like I just feel your pain, pile 4. I feel the pain. It's kind of like there's a sense here, especially with this not for you card, of feeling that you don't deserve good things, and seeing people, maybe people that you consider less moral than you or less responsible than you, like in some way, shape, or form. It seems like they don't have, they're just worse people than you. And maybe you try not to judge, because after all, we have here, the presence of love is the absence of judgment. But I feel like it's kind of hard not to when you see people be even worse and somehow they're getting all their life together. I know mothers who would give up their kids to marry somebody very successful and wealthy. And you think to yourself, I would never be that kind of parent to just abandon my kids for somebody else. And yet you see people like that just thriving. And it's like, you are at odds with sometimes the morals that are going on within your life, and the decisions that you've made. But I promise, there's just something about your heart that you're kind of refusing to compromise here. It's like, I'm not going to abandon anything or anybody. For some of you, you could be dealing with past traumas about this as well. If this isn't your own story, it could be somebody's past story, because I have seen this in like previous generations, specifically generations of immigrants who maybe they leave their child behind somewhere and they go on to, start a job elsewhere, get a home elsewhere, and then they come back for them. So there are feelings of abandonment here. It's that kind of situation. Same thing with marrying, like I'm thinking of people who remarry into different families. Maybe they've had to let go of their kids. I've seen that. Take that only if it resonates. It's a very heavy energy, so I feel like for this particular pile, you're dealing with that. If not within this current generation, maybe a generation or two back as well. Because sometimes the ghosts of our ancestors, like whatever it is that they've had going on, can be passed down to us. And this makes sense when you think of how things come through us in utero sometimes. So even though this may be like your mother's story, remember you were once inside your mother for 9 months. So take that if it resonates. Let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards though. For my beautiful pile 4, we have devoted. Yeah. So one beautiful quality that you have is that you are a very devoted person. It's kind of showing you, this is reminding you of how much you are capable of dedicating to anybody and anything, because you're very much ride or die. You don't abandon people when you see they need help. Even when they've been awful to you, unfortunately, I do feel like people have taken you for granted. And like I said, that's unfortunate, because I feel like you have such a beautiful giving soul, to the point where maybe people have even taken advantage of this, or they wish they could just take up all of your energy. It's like, oh, pile 4 is just so beautiful and loving. I want them all to myself and to nobody else. Like, I feel like you're surrounded by selfish energy. Like, you may have come from pile 2, because I was getting something similar in that pile. But here, it's not just family and friends. It's like the people that you've called in, like the former partners who felt like they saw how you were and they wanted that for themselves. What's the... Some of you may have been with older partners as well, and maybe that older partner wanted you to be like a quote quote nurse to them or a caretaker to them. Because I've seen this with older men. They like to go for younger women, not because they're younger and, you know, prettier and have more energy, but because they want someone to essentially be their nurse. So again, something a lot like I'm sorry if you are a man who identifies as straight and like women, but for whatever reason, I'm getting a very strong energy of like men who take advantage of women here. So if it's not you specifically, it could have been like a parent or somebody from the past or somebody that you may have witnessed your mother have to cater to. I'm getting that strongly. Like it was around you. Like it may not be you directly, but it was definitely around you. Let's get more cards. For my beautiful pile 4, we have loyal. Yeah, I just get like you're an amazing partner, pile 4. And I feel like people know this and they witness this. A lot of you could also be like the kind of beauty I'm seeing from you is that of somebody who you're a very attractive person, but you don't put it on display. So this makes like maybe this has to do with jealousy. Maybe in previous relationships you felt the need to cover up because you just didn't want to put everything on display. Like you will, it's rare that people catch you in an outfit that is very revealing. So either you like to dress this way or people find that attractive about you. Like people would be like, oh, well, pile 4 would never put all that on display. So I like that. It makes you attractive to certain people, believe it or not. Back of the deck, we have alchemic. And here's something else. There is a very healing energy within you. I feel like this is something that you actively work with, not for yourself, but to help those around you. Because there's like a very strong, I'm getting strong Virgo energy, but also like the energy of either a nurse or somebody who is like wanting to heal everybody. You actively want to heal people. So you use a combination of the skills you know, as well as your spirituality, whatever it may be, whatever it is you believe in, however you get in contact, come close to the divine, you use that to heal people around you actively, and you're aware of this. Whether you voice this out loud or not to other people is irrelevant. I think they're aware and they want that. You shine your light so brightly, but because you have these histories or stories of like people getting taken advantage of, you just feel like that is something that comes naturally. Like this is just how the world is. And the truth is, pile 4, it's not meant. Your light is not meant for people to take advantage of. Your light is not meant for people to siphon from. It is meant for you to empower yourself and others around you. But because your heart is so selfless, you might have a hard time seeing it this way. Let's go ahead and get the last of your cards. For pile 4, for some oracle cards. We have hunger. With hunger, I'm kind of getting... Oh, let me get the rest of the cards. Because like I said, there's a lot of ancestral patterns here that you are dealing with. It's kind of like you've taken on a lot of your family's baggage that is actually affecting the way you see relationships and love in general. In fact, I don't think I really talked a lot about romance or even love. I feel like all I talk about is how people want to take advantage of you, and that's unfortunate. And this comes with the hunger. Somebody here has a hunger for you, or hunger can make you do things that maybe you don't want to do as well. I'm thinking of how certain families or certain generations have grown up starving, and it's that mentality that has been passed down to you. So like I said, it may not be you. I don't think you're really starving. But maybe your previous generation, like your parents or grandparents, they grew up dirt poor, and the hunger that they had made them do things they didn't want to do. Balance. Yeah, there's something here about balance as well, because I think of boundaries when I think of balance. Let's get one more. Space. Yeah, there's the boundaries. Let's get the Gods and Titans card before I move on. But I feel like I've explained. I'll be honest, pile 4, this energy is just something different. And I feel like for a lot of you, romance and love seems very, very far out of your way. I actually know people like this, where every time I ask them about romance, it's just, to them, it's something that's unattainable, even though I know for a fact that it isn't, because they're such beautiful people. Okay. Interesting that the Gods and Titans deck wanted to fall out of my hands. We have Poseidon, Flow, and you know what's interesting? I wasn't going to show it because I was like, what does it have to do with anything? But where is it? The back of the deck for the Prism Oracle also said Flow. So there's something here about having to flow with life, like just letting life allow things to come through for you, specifically romance, because I feel like there are people who want to come in and provide for you. Poseidon himself is to me, he's a very paternal figure because he's one of the big three gods in Greek mythology. It's Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. And Poseidon, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I want to say he had one of the bigger families, maybe bigger than Zeus. It's between him and Zeus. Hades was the one who didn't really have many kids. Let me go ahead and read from the book for Poseidon. Okay, from the book, we have expect a greater flow of creativity, ease, or prosperity. This card is a siren call to protect and enjoy the stunning oceans of the world. As gentle as a lagoon and as destructive as a tsunami, Poseidon is one of the greatest gods of the Greek pantheon, one of the sons of Cronus. He rules the sea. His brothers Zeus and Hades rule the sky and the underworld, respectively. Beloved and feared at the same time, sailors in the ancient world often made sacrifices to him before a voyage, and fishermen took part in great seasonal rites to appease him. There's something here about water, so you could have a lot of water within your chart. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, especially with jealousy and Pluto here. There's a very strong scorpionic energy. In fact, it's also in this card, in this little... is this a swan, like a black swan? There's the mirror here. So something about being stuck in the past, but again, when I think of water signs, I think of like loyalty to family because they care very much about family. But I feel like there's something about life just gently guiding you in a particular direction. And because we are dealing with water, sometimes the sailing is smooth and sometimes it's rocky and sometimes it just feels like you have no control over this. I was recently in Venice and man, I do not like to travel by boat because, you know, you have to get on boats to go around the town and to get on and off as well because I just did not like it. Even on the what are they called, vaporettos? I just did not like them. But there's something here about having to go with the flow. Maybe you are used to this or maybe you're not. But I feel like there's just something about going with the flow that is going to make your dating life a lot easier. Because right now it just seems that you can only devote yourself to one particular thing at a time. And in all fairness, there is a feeling here that you are deciding to only focus on one thing at a time. And that's fair. That's very honorable of you. But let's go ahead and move on to the tarot portion to see more specifically what is holding you back. Why you don't have prospects. I feel like, again, you do have romantic options, but they just want you all to themselves. And it's very greedy energy. It wouldn't surprise me if you have either Scorpio rising, maybe Taurus rising as well. What's another sign? Scorpio in the 12th house, which would make you Sagittarius rising. So pile 4, let's see. Internally, what is going on? What is keeping you single? We have divine intervention. This is the Tower card, but it's reversed. It's kind of like the only way you would get into a relationship is if you were kind of forced into one. Externally, this is what is going on. Another way of seeing this is that, again, there has been chaos around you and you cannot rest until the chaos has been attended to. Internally, what's going on? We have Temperance. There's something here about you doing a lot of healing. You are still healing from past situations or even currently healing from a situation you are currently going through. The universe wants you to do reciprocity. Wants you to have an emphasis on reciprocal energy, though. I feel like if somebody cannot give to you, you cannot give to them because your energy is limited. Maybe some of you have tried to be in a relationship while you are in your current state right now, but it's kind of like it just didn't work out, or for whatever reason, like nothing happened, or you ended up getting ghosted. Something along those lines. Let's get more cards. For pile 4. 7 of Swords.
Why the Seven of Swords? Can I get a clarification on this? Jupiter. This is the Hierophant. You know what this is? Sometimes people lie in order to because I'm seeing shame. I'm seeing shame and guilt. So I see this sometimes when people don't want to be open and honest about their situation, not because you're going out of your way to be deceitful, but because you just don't want them to have to worry about this. So maybe in the first few dates, you're like, oh yeah, I've got nothing going on. Like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with me. Or you just don't want them to meet your family, or you don't want to be honest about if you do have kids, maybe you have tried to not let people know that you have children. It's kind of like and there's no shame in that. I feel like you were just trying something out, but I feel like you just felt bad about it. And it's like, yeah, this is not me. I feel like this is something that Spirit is bringing to your attention because you feel very guilty about this, or you feel that you are being punished because of this. And I'm here to tell you, no, there's nothing. Like, you were just trying something out. And they understand why you would feel this way. There's a lot of guilt within this particular energy. I feel like a lot of you feel like you deserve not having a love life right now because of the things you've done in the past or the things you are dealing with. It's very don't take this the wrong way, but I grew up Catholic, and the Catholic Church loves to wield guilt over people or make people feel bad about the decisions that they've made. That's what I'm getting. So for some of you, you could have some energy to do with like a Catholic upbringing or whatever the religion is. Maybe if your religion or spiritual background is similar, you could be dealing with that particular heavy energy. I'm seeing, especially if you have like a mother or grandmother who likes to, again, guilt trip you into thinking that you deserve everything that is wrong with you because of the decisions you've made in the past. That is not somebody who loves you. I'm just telling you that because I've witnessed this. I've seen this within my own family. That's not somebody who loves you. That's somebody who, for whatever reason, just feels the need to make other people feel as miserable as they are. I'm sorry if that's hard to hear, but I don't like seeing that energy. I don't like when people wield religion or spirituality as some sort of weapon to make people feel bad, because that's not what this is. I just feel very strongly about that. And I feel like you may be dealing with somebody like that, and this might be something you're thinking about. That's the only reason I bring it up, pile 4. You are okay in the choices you've made. And even if it doesn't feel like it, like, you are okay. There's nothing wrong with the decisions that you have made. So don't allow people to make you feel this way. And don't allow the words that they've told you to become a reality either, because it's not. Sorry, I just felt like that one was personal. I've seen that before. So to me, yeah, let's get your last card, pile 4. What else does pile 4 need to know? What's going on? We have the Conqueror of Wands. So there are people who are very attracted and into you. And like I said, I feel like you would take them up on this offer, but it's like you just, the limitations you are putting on yourself, because I feel like to some extent, yes, it might be the universe saying, not yet, not now, this is not the time. But then there are certain aspects, because we still have freedom of choice, we still have freedom of will, free will. We can decide to do certain things. So maybe not be in a relationship, but definitely go out on dates and have fun. I mean, that's one evening. I'm sure you could find either a friend or family to be able to take care of whatever your responsibilities are for one evening. So don't feel that your dating life has to be dry. I feel like you could always entertain people here, or even just flirt within, like, for example, the workspace or online, whatever the situation may be. Let's look at the outside influences, though. We have, is this the Six of Swords? Yes, the 6 looks weird here. Like I said, you're just in the wrong place. You're going to be making a move soon or soon-ish, and this is going to show you exactly where it is that you need to be. I'm not sure if you're noticing all the pauses that I'm making within this reading, pile 4, because the way my camera films or records is that I just press record and I either can stop or pause, and I pause more than I stop because it's easier for editing. But I've been very distracted this entire reading with either like other things going on, bodily functions, just all kinds of weird reactions are going on here. So you may be very easily distracted, or just things keep calling your energy, like I said. All right, let's get the rest of your cards. Outer influences going on. But yeah, you're in the wrong place. You're going to move soon to somewhere better, or you may be transferring jobs to somewhere where you can find somebody or people that are more accepting of your situation. We have Nine of Cups. There's a wish fulfillment here. You made a wish about something and it's going to come true. And you're going to feel it before you can actually live it. Does that make sense? Like, you know how they say you have to believe it's already with you whenever we're talking about manifestation. You have to believe it's already with you before it can actually manifest. That's what you're going to be doing automatically. You're not going to be thinking about it, but you're going to suddenly find yourself feeling a lot better. You're going to wake up like on the right side of the bed every day, and you're going to wonder why. It's because you made a wish for something. You set out manifestations for something specific, and the universe is just getting you ready for that kind of climate, if you will. It's like you have the coat before winter comes. It's like you have the umbrella and the rain boots before the rain comes. You're going to be ready for this. It's going to come very naturally. Let's get more cards. We have the Knight of Cups. Yeah, you are going to be surrounded by a lot of prospects, a lot of potential people you could date. I feel like you already are, or maybe you're just already dealing with this, but there's somebody coming through who's going to reciprocate your energy. That's for sure, because I already see this here underneath the Six of Coins. What else do we need to know? I don't see you being very concerned with this person. I feel like at first, yeah, you flirt and you acknowledge their advances, but you're just you're not going to give more to this person than you know you can. They're going to be doing a lot more for this connection than you want. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. You're reaping the rewards that you deserve. Especially once you let go of this mentality that for whatever reason, whatever's going on with you is something that you deserve because somebody told you so. And then we have, this is Sacred Wisdom. This is the High Priestess. You're very connected to spirit. And I feel like just keep that connection. Keep tapping into your intuition. Keep doing, if you pray, and I feel like this would be my pile of people who actively pray or manifest or do some sort of ritual to acknowledge their gratitude towards the divine. Keep doing that because that is only working in your favor. And for a lot of you, you may dream about the person before they even come into your life. You may be dreaming about somebody important. Back of the deck, we have the Hermit. Yeah, I feel like your days as Hermit energy are over. Two of Swords, Four of Cups. You're going to stop communicating with people from your past, or they will stop communicating with you, especially for those of you who, for example, have an ex or somebody that you used to date that just keeps trying to talk to you and you're just kind of done with it. You may only speak to them because they were a source of like emotional support for a time that you could only really rely on them. Because you had nobody else that you told your situation about. For example, if you are dealing with family, maybe you were only talking to your ex about certain situations, not because you wanted to, but because they're the one that you trusted the most or understood your situation the most. If you share children with them, of course you're going to speak to them about it. But I'm thinking more of like if you're taking care of your parents and this person knew your parents, that's what I'm thinking of. I feel like the connection with them is going to be cut off. Whether it's out of nowhere or slowly, regardless, I just see that communication dying off because it needed to. Even if you were on an okay basis with them, even if you got along, I feel like there's something here about you letting go of your past fully and completely that is going to allow for you to step into the new energy that you need. But there are going to be people here for you, should you want them, because it's still at the very end up to you. And I feel like the biggest mentality you have to let go of is that you somehow deserve a lack of love or a lack of a romantic life. Maybe somebody, I just get the feeling that this is my pile of people who've had a lot of people say nasty things to them, and for whatever reason you believed it. I like maybe a verbally abusive family, or what specifically that I feel like it would be family, because sometimes the things that people tell us growing up are things that for whatever reason we take to be fact. Because when a child hears their parents say something, even if that something is a very negative thing, we believe it because as children we learn from our parents. But here you're having to undo something. So let's say your parents said some very awful things about you when you were young, and
internally you took it to mean that. There are certain layers of that we need to release and let go and understand that that is not true. Yeah, because there's something like I'm getting all kinds of examples coming up, and I don't want to say them just because they're very hurtful. But there's something about letting go of whatever that hurt version of our mother, grandmother, parent, father, whatever hurt version of them is trying to tell us what we are. We know that is not true at all. That is not true. These are the lies that we've had to undo ourselves. But let's go ahead and get your cards pile, your closing cards piled for. Anything else we need to know about why it is that you are single? I keep hearing why some of you choose to remain single. I think it is high time to tell you that I think of you constantly. Marlene Dietrich. There's somebody here that thinks of you constantly. Of course, this could also be you thinking of something a little bit too much. Maybe it's certain past situations. But I feel like it's, for a lot of people in this pile, it's time to get out of our heads and into our hearts. Because in the heart is where the truth is. Once upon a time, there was a boy who loved a girl, and her laughter was a question he wanted to spend his whole life answering. Nicole Krauss, The History of Love. There's something here about laughing with somebody that is going to really, really help you through this. This could be somebody who is a friend. This could be somebody who, they make you laugh. And in doing so, it's kind of like laughter is the best medicine. This person helps you heal through laughter. Like I said, some of you have like a friend that is just a friend because that's all you can be to them right now, and you don't have time for a relationship. Let's go ahead and get your channeled messages, and these can either be from the universe, from source, or from somebody who is wanting to come through. Pile 4. I'm immature and selfish. All I ever see is myself. Yeah, this is an energy that you're very used to calling in. Immature and selfish people. And at first I feel like you just want to, like, there's a part of you that feels, oh, I can heal them. They're only this way because they need help. And that's how you grew up being. There's a lot of gendered stereotypes coming through in this reading, and I'm not sure if I feel like I did speak a little bit about it. But for example, if you are, this is just an example, if you're the oldest in your, and this could be any gender, if you're the oldest in your family of the opposite gender, and like everybody younger than you is another gender, I feel like you were taught to cater to that gender. It's like, oh, well, of course they're acting that way. They're a boy or they're a girl. And it could be either like an older sister to younger brothers or an older brother to younger sisters. I've seen it both ways. So I'm trying to keep it equal here. So there's something about catering to somebody's immaturity and selfishness that I feel was thrusted upon you at a specific age, at a younger age than you are now, but definitely a specific age, because I feel like having to parent your younger siblings is something that you are having to deal with here. This is part of the reason you've been able to put up with people like that, but not anymore. Not anymore, pile 4. So, what else do we have going on? Darling, you are perfect. Yes, pile 4, you're very perfect just the way you are. It's just the insecurities that everybody else has decided to tell you, like they just feel like lies. Anytime anybody has told you that you are somehow not worthy, it's a lie, pile 4. Like, there's a big heavy energy there. It makes me very sad that somebody has decided, like specifically a parent has called you like ugly or something like that. No parent should ever call their child that, but it's unfortunate because it happens, because the truth is that that parent feels ugly, and honestly, for saying things like that, they are. But anyway, pile 4. Fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So you could be dealing with a fire sign. This could be you as well, of course, but I feel like for a lot of you, you are dealing with like the negative side of a fire sign. We also have I adore you. You're very adored, pile 4. You're very adored by many people. I'm insecure about the state of our relationship. For like, you bring out people's insecurities because they feel that they will lose you at some point. And honestly, if whoever fears this, I feel like they're right, because they're probably not giving you enough. or they're taking advantage of you or have taken advantage of you. I hate how much we've been fighting, so I would rather not talk. Something about an argumentative nature here. I feel like you are kind of used to dealing with people who argue a lot. And I'm hiding a secret from you, negative. Again, and the way I'm taking this card is that sometimes people don't want, like specifically parents or people older, like, you know, because I'm talking a lot about the childhood here. They don't want you to understand your power. They don't want you to understand your own beauty or your own whatever it is that makes you wonderful, because they feel that once you realize your worth, you will no longer be dependent on them, and they want you to be dependent on them, or they want you to be stuck on them, stuck to them. It's like, no, don't go away. You're like, it really feels like villain energy. Like, I just do not like this, and it's unfortunate because for a lot of you, this person is someone who was supposed to take care of you, who was supposed to be a source of love and you know, unconditional love, but they did not fulfill that for you. And I feel like a lot of the guilt you're feeling is actually their own guilt, because you just did what you were meant to do. You just did what you were supposed to, and that was, you know, be a good child, or try to be. And instead, this particular either family, parent has bestowed upon you these just negative qualities that you're actively working to heal and to undo, because inside you is the most beautiful person anybody will ever see, and inside you is somebody who is just meant, like, you deserve the world, Pile 4. You really do deserve the world. And it's been a moment since I've been this choked up within a reading, but I know you will get through this. I know you will get over this. You are about to embark on a journey that I'm not sure you're aware of. The reason I don't speak about it a lot is because I feel like it'll feel a lot better once you're on that journey. So don't worry about the future. Worry about focusing on yourself right now and letting go of these lies that people have told you, that you are somehow not worthy of true love or of like all-encompassing beautiful love, especially when you see people worse than you having a better time than you are. But this is where I leave it, Pile 4. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Thank you so much for letting me speak about this. I am sending you so much love, so much clarity, and so much healing. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, Pile 5. I almost didn't make this reading. I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately. I guess 5 is my number for readings lately, but we have a reading here for you about why you are single, what is keeping you from meeting your person or from getting into a relationship in general, regardless of whether it's been a long time or maybe you just had a unsuccessful tries and tribulations within relationships. Or is that trials and tribulations? I don't know. I feel like for some of you, you've just had a stroke of bad luck. I do have a song stuck for you in my head. Not everybody got a song, and it's a throwback, specifically a reggaeton throwback from the 2000s. It's Ivy Queen's. How does the song go? Dicen que los hombres no deben llorar. They say men shouldn't cry. So you may be dealing with either emotional men, or you yourself could be an emotional man who's having a hard time with his emotions. Something about gender expectations and emotions, specifically with men. So if you're not into men, I feel like this might still affect you because of whatever was going on with your father. Because our parents do shape how we view relationships, regardless of what our orientation may be here. So there might be something there. Take it if it resonates, of course, that you could just also be really into that song. Maybe that's a song you and somebody share. So let's go ahead and look at the oracles to see what is going on with you. We have boundaries. You need to set better boundaries. Keep your energy balanced and protected. If needed, spend some time alone. It's okay to say no. So as I was reading this, and along with that song, some of you are still friends with your ex, or you're still friends with somebody you used to have romantic feelings for, and that specific connection is keeping you from moving forward, either because you feel the need to be emotionally supportive to that person and that's keeping you from moving on to somebody else, or because their energy is kind of holding you captive. I don't feel it's as strong as in other piles. I know there's at least 2 other piles where like people's past is keeping them from moving forward. With this one, I feel like it's either more recent or it's something you could cut off, but I guess because you just have such a big heart, you don't want to. But I'm here to tell you, I don't care what this person is telling you.
because I'm getting strong water energy from them: Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. And I'm, of course, I'm not trying to bash any water signs. I love water signs. I have a lot of water in my chart. But this person is the kind of person who has secrets so deep that they'll take to the grave. So they may say, "No, I don't want to get back with you. I don't have feelings for you, etc." Deep down inside, I think they do. Or at the very least, they have some sort of possessiveness over you. They'll never say it, and they may not even show it. It's something very subconscious that they have. And I'm not here to tell you to go confront them about it, because I feel like maybe some of you have, and again, they've just said they've denied it this entire time. It's an energy, and maybe for them it's more subconscious because they don't know how to let go, or they expect you to be, like I said, an emotional support system where they may not even have one. Maybe you are the only person that they've opened up to emotionally. And again, there's a complicated energy here. So take that if it resonates. If it's not a former partner, it could be like a crush situation, like a I'm getting a lot of Spanish verbiage here. I'm hearing a casi algo, an almost something with this. This might be my pile of Latinos. So, what's up? Thank you for being here. That's interesting that I'm channeling. I do channel in other languages, and I may end up doing readings in other languages as well. I'm not as confident in my Spanish verbiage for the metaphysical. Would be the only reason why I don't do it, because I learned my spirituality in English. But I mean, I learned religion in Spanish, but I learned my spirituality in English. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards. So yeah, there's a partner here. Oh, interesting. Stop. There's somebody here definitely blocking something for you, and this is going to be very obvious. I think in previous piles it wasn't so obvious, or it was something stronger, but for this one, I think you have to be very honest with yourself whether you actually want something with this person or not. Because it could be a case where you have to completely cut them off. Because either they'll just never let you go, and that's not fair to you if you want to move on and find the love of your life, or, be in a relationship with somebody else. And it's just selfish of this person. I feel like this person also has to move on. They can find, somebody else. Because I feel a friendship, and I feel, a big heart of you toward them, but I don't feel like there's love or even passion here anymore. Isolation and growth. So I feel like if you were entertaining this person, it's because you yourself were like, okay, I'm not going to be seeing anyone anyway. I'm okay talking to you. But what I feel that is doing is just getting this person used to always you being there. Like maybe they call you in an emergency, again, and you're the first person to answer, or maybe you're trying to step away from that. And I see this often. I've seen this in, the exes of people I used to date, and I've seen this in my own exes. Like they just, somebody here, your person more than likely, was never taught how to properly deal with their feelings. They've been taught to depend on somebody else for this. Therefore, you have become that person. Again, I feel like a lot of you are from previous piles, because a similar theme has been popping up with regards to emotional codependency. Let's get more cards. We have attract through glow. Yeah, you have a very bright light. In fact, even this growth card, it's like the sun is shining behind this flower, and we do need light. We need sunlight in order for our plants to grow. But I feel like we also need sunlight in order for people to grow, because I was always taught that sunlight and moonlight, but more sunlight because it's more active, it is a cleansing agent. We can cleanse our crystals with the sun. We can cleanse our environment with the sun. That's why it's important to open up the windows, not just for fresh air, but to let the light in. And I feel like there's something about you. You are like the sun to a lot of people. You radiate some sort of light, inner light for sure. Maybe also quite literally, you're the kind of person who comes in and you open up the windows for people. It's making me think of like a nurse who comes into either the nursing home or, wherever they are, and they open the windows and it's like, how's your day? Something very Virgo about this energy as well. Your specific energy, pile 5. Let's get more cards though. We have, okay. Focus on the big picture.
Yeah, detail oriented. I feel like this is my pile of people who tend to focus on the small details because there are a lot of little bugs here. And bugs are small, but it's like you can't be focusing on the small things going on right now. You have to focus on the big thing. And in the long run, you know that whoever this person is, they could end up just being a drain. Or if they're not going to act up and be the person you want them to be, or that they need to be in order to be with you, there's no point in holding on to them. Because there's a fine line between a friend and a lover, at least for this particular, for your specific situation with this particular person. This could also be multiple people. Maybe you are the kind of person who likes to keep friends as lovers, or maybe you have had a string of people that are um like situationships here. Sorry, I like for this pile I get a lot of Spanish in my head because I keep wanting to say casi algo, and I guess that would be like a situationship and almost something, but not quite. So there's something here about focusing on the big picture. You can't be holding on to people if they're not going to commit to you, if they're not going to, shape up and be something that you need to be. And now I'm hearing the song from Greece, You Better Shape Up Because I Need a Man. Lots to do with men in this particular reading. So if you're not attracted to men, you can just ignore those songs. But definitely a feeling that there's something about gender roles that could actually be getting in the way of you viewing relationships in a healthy manner. And the way my ear just started ringing, my left ear, the feminine side of the body, started ringing very high, like the highest pitch I've ever heard. It sounds like a needle, if that makes sense. That's how high it sounds. Like, I don't know, it's weird. So yeah, there's something here about gender roles that are very either it's something you expect out of somebody or it could be getting in the way, because I feel like for a lot of you, you grew up very traditional, or even if you didn't, you had a very traditional mindset of gender roles within a relationship. And if you are Latin American, I feel like this is true because, especially the people I know who are still living in certain South American, Latin American countries, they still hold on to very traditional gendered stereotypes. Not saying that it's a good or a bad thing. I just realized, like, in where I live in the US, it's very open about who's supposed to do what. But in other countries, it's still very traditional. So take that as it resonates. And even if you don't see things this way, it could be like a mentality you grew up with, like I said. So let's get the rest of your cards. For example, maybe you do, like, if you are into men and you're a woman, you do expect the man to pay for everything. But there's something about, well, one, you might be in the wrong area for that. And that's another message that has been coming through in a lot of these readings. I wonder if, like, the people who are watching this reading are going to be moving to new places soon. And two, I don't think there's anything wrong with going 50-50, at least at the beginning of the connection, or depending on who makes more. Like, I kind of don't expect a millionaire woman to have a man who makes half of that pay for her. She's probably already used to paying for it. Not only that, but because her standards are so high, she'd probably want to go to a nicer restaurant than whatever he would pick out. So she would still end up paying for half of her things, or maybe the whole situation. And there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe some of you do see it that way, some of you don't. It all depends. I think where the situation is how are they meeting your emotional and intimate needs? How are you splitting things up in the home? It has to be something that feels natural and that it's not just an expectation, but something that you are comfortable with. Because there's a difference between social expectation, what you feel somebody should be doing for you, and what you are comfortable with. So for example, I've never really had anybody pay for everything of mine because I'm very proud. Like, I'm very much American in that way, where I'm too proud to have somebody pay for all of my my meal, with the exception of certain friends or maybe a birthday or something like that where they know I'm not doing well at the moment, or they know I'm going through something. That's the only difference. Like, I will let them pay for that. But like, if specifically in romantic situations, the energy I'm channeling right now is very opposite to how I view things. So that's why I feel the need to explain it. Okay, the rest of your cards. We have abandoned. There's an abandonment moon here. Okay, this is my pile of people. When you see somebody has been abandoned, you're Your beautiful heart. You have such a beautiful open heart. You just want to take care of everybody. I'm seeing literally Snow White or any Disney princess. You know, when Snow White takes care of the dwarves, she's cleaning for them. She's kind of being like a mom to them because they don't have them. She even says that in the movie. She's like, oh, you don't have a mother. That's why your place is so messy. But the thing is, those dwarfs, even though they look small, they're still adult men and they should be cleaning up after themselves. Like, that's something I thought about when I watched it again. Yeah, guide. You like to guide people. I'm getting a strong Cancerian energy from you as well. So you don't mind being like a mother figure or a parental figure if you don't see yourself as a mother figure. You don't mind being a guide. You don't mind being somebody that people lean on. And I feel, again, there's nothing wrong with this. But some people may be relying on you too much or be taking advantage of this particular trait of yours. Back of the deck, we have indecisive. And here's the thing, because I almost wanted to say that you have the qualities of a leader, but the only thing keeping you from this is your indecisiveness. It's like, for example, if you do still keep in contact with your ex, it's like, well, do I let them go or do I keep them around? Like, maybe you already are aware that they're keeping you from either dating or being with somebody else, especially if this person is like the parent of your child, like a baby daddy, baby mama situation. Maybe you keep them around for that. It's like, well, I kind of have to look after the parent of my child, even if there's no romance here. But you know to some extent that that is keeping you from finding somebody, either because they don't want you to find somebody. And again, this person will never reveal it. This person is very secretive. They may say, oh no, I want you to be happy, go and date. But then they meet the person and they're intimidating and they act a certain way, or they tell, you know, your kids certain things. Like, I don't know, there's just something here about somebody not being completely honest. Somebody is holding on to you and they're not being completely honest about what it is that they expect from you. Very manipulative. I really don't like this energy, but I can tell that, again, you have a very soft spot for them. And for some of you, this person, they may not want to commit to you, even though you do want a relationship with them. But for whatever reason, they don't want it. Or I don't know what's going on with them. I don't want to focus on them, though. I want to focus on you. We have choice. Yeah, that's what I was feeling, that you have a choice here. And you have a lot more power here than you realize. And look how there's like a guy in this window looking out for her. I feel like this is your person, your ex. They're just looking to see what it is that you're doing. You're just minding your business. You know, you have to make your own choices, but they are being very heavily influenced by somebody else. I want to get one more card from this deck. We have fidelity. Yeah, interesting, because here we have somebody walking away. But fidelity, of course, it's loyalty. It's somebody being faithful to you. And maybe at one point you expected this of this person, but they weren't able to provide it. So what you actually want is somebody else. This could be my pile of people who are actually in a relationship right now, but like I said, there's nothing there. So you want to date, but you have decided to commit to this person out of, again, it's like a traditional gender role. There are women out there who marry, and no matter what their husband does, no matter how stupid their husband acts, no matter what's going on, they will never, ever, ever divorce, because in their mind, in their upbringing, they were taught that that is not the way. And it's unfortunate, because we do see people married to people, and I'm not just going to say women and men, I'm just going to say anybody who's married to anybody. They will become very loyal to somebody who leads them down the wrong path or who does awful things to them. But it's like the principle of it all is that they will never divorce regardless of what goes on. And that's just, again, a mentality that some people grow up with. I'm not saying this is you, though it could be pile 5. This could be something you saw your parents go through. Like maybe you saw your mother never leave your father, even though your father was just the worst person ever, because there's something about that specific mentality or way of thinking. And maybe this has passed down to you in a more casual way. Like maybe you were never married, but you still have this sense of loyalty towards somebody from your past. I do feel for this pile there is like one specific person. So if you don't have a specific person, it will be the one person you could see yourself forgiving everything for. Like that one ex who did you wrong, but if they wanted to have something else with you, you would forgive it all in a heartbeat. I think everybody, well, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people have something like that. Let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards.
We have Yeshi Sogyal, Lady of the Lotus Born. Embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. I'm hearing you have a great body. Even if it's not like, conventionally attractive, I feel like you have a really good, like you might be very healthy. You might just know how to move in a specific way, because this makes me think of a dancer. So maybe you're very active, maybe you do a sport, or there's something about your body. There's something about your physical appeal that I feel for you, you think it's a double-edged sword because you think people only use you for your body. And honestly, I feel like sometimes that is the case. I feel like you have a reputation for doing something and I know this is odd and this isn't something that came out in every pile, but you have a reputation for having a really great body or just being really good at something physical, if you know what I mean. It could be that this person holding on to you just really, really likes the physical intimacy between the both of you and they don't want to let that go, but they don't want to commit to you, or they don't want to, there's, for whatever reason, there's a past person who is not giving you what you want, and that's keeping you from finding somebody who will, because there is somebody who will. Whatever this person will not do for you, there are hundreds of people out there who will. There are hundreds of people out there who will. And I feel like I am talking to a friend right now, so I'm sorry if if the way I'm talking is a little bit more informal, because I feel like I'm talking to somebody I would know here. Let's get the last of your cards. You have Achilles, confidence. So I feel like one way you eventually do move on from this, I feel like the way your singlehood will finally end is by you regaining your confidence. And I think in me mentioning to you just how amazing your body is, or how good the things that you do are, that will help, at least in that aspect. But there's something here about your light. You're very forgiving. You have a lot to offer somebody. You are really quite a catch, pile 5. And I think that alone should give you the confidence to know that you can do better than this person who either you're holding on to, they're holding on to you, you're both holding on to each other. But like, there's nothing will ever come of that, unfortunately, because if it was, it would have happened already. And you will know who this is because you had like a long history with them. I'm talking about a year and a half or more, or maybe if you already have children with them, again, it's like you have children with this person, but there's never been any commitment, because in their mind they're like, oh well, we're already living together, we already do this, we already have kids. Like, that's not what, is that what you want, pile 5, or do you want somebody who will actually put the effort to make you something official here? And I know it's complicated because I'm hearing all the stories coming through as to why it can't happen. But the thing is, when somebody really wants something, when somebody really wants you, they make it happen. And if this is a case where, because I see this in my culture, maybe your partner, the father of your children, the mother of your children, is in another country trying to set up life there so that you can eventually join them, same thing. And that's harder for me to say because I know not every story like that is the same, but it will sometimes be the case where somebody goes, to a different country to start a life there, and then they actually start their own new life there. They find somebody else, they have children with somebody else. It's a double life kind of situation. And thank goodness for our modern day and age, right? With social media and phone numbers and being able to track people, because I think it's harder to do that now. I kind of think of how that would have gone down before the age of social media, before we had phones, because yeah, it's interesting. I think of what my grandfathers would have gotten away with if they had done that. It's just not saying that they did, of course. Well, I guess I don't know. I don't ask because I don't know, and I feel like it's not my business. But anyway, whoever wants you will commit to you. Also, I'm getting very distracted by like wanting to tell stories, so some of you might just really like to have gossip. Maybe you just are very, you like to hear the tea. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I feel like I'm talking to a friend. I feel like I'm talking to somebody I know, like my cousins or something. But let's go ahead and move on to the tarot portion to see what else is keeping you single, what is keeping you from finding your person. And more specifically, I want to focus on how you can move forward, because I think we've gotten the situation. Part of it is, again, social expectations. It could be the way you saw your family deal with relationships, or maybe not deal with relationships. And of course, this past person. I think you will eventually fall off from this person, and I feel like it's going to have to take somebody new coming in and showing you all the respect and love and ways to actually treat you. And it's going to be so, I'm getting like a shock. It's going to be so shocking to you what they do for you. You're going to have no choice but to like understand that that was meant for you. It's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I feel like the universe will send you this person. But let's go ahead and get, and you might have to do the whole thing where you choose between one person or another, but the choice is going to be very obvious, even if it's not obvious to everybody else around you. All right, let's get your cards. So externally, what's going on with you? We have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is moving on, but the fact that it's reversed, you don't want to move on. And I feel like I've already mentioned that. Let's go ahead and do your emotions. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So you could have the moon in Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. But the way earth moon signs, I love them so much. I know a lot of them. And even though I'm an earth sun, earth moons are very different. They will linger on their feelings for a long time. They will hold grudges. They will hold on to certain mentalities, certain things longer than the average person. And I really do mean it when I say they hold grudges. They will bring up things that happened like years ago as if it was still new. And I feel like you're similar. Like maybe the love you have for this former person, you could still tap into that as if it happened yesterday. And this is both a good and a bad thing. I think it's good if this person commits to you and does all those wonderful things to you. It's bad if they don't and you're still pretending, oh, well, there's still a history there. There's still a love there. It's both a good and a bad thing. So for the person that is going to show up for you, it's going to be a great thing for them. But for the person who doesn't show up for you, they'll just take advantage of it. They'll take advantage of this particular feature of yours. Let's go ahead and get more cards. What does the universe, what does spirit need to tell you? We have the Ace of Cups. I'm hearing nothing new will start if you stay in this old energy. And I know that's a little bit harsh, but it's kind of like, I feel like the universe or spirit or your guides, your angels, ancestors have been trying to tell you this for a while. I'm specifically hearing the voice of your past ancestors, your foremothers, if you will, maybe your forefathers if they also had a not so great relationship with their spouses. They want better for you. They really do. I feel like if you were to ask them, they want you to move on and to move forward. Because spirit doesn't view relationships the way we do. They don't view marriage the way we do. If you were to ask spirit, marriage is anything that has lasted a long time that you've dedicated towards somebody. Anything reciprocal where you both had feelings for each other and lasted a long time. So in the universe's eyes and spirit's eyes, I've been married twice, even though I've never been married, because they see marriage like marriage means nothing to them. Believe it or not, which is why sometimes when religion comes into play with relationships and marriage, I kind of, it's hard for me to understand. That's more of a human thing. We created marriage, not the universe. We have the Awakening reversed. So it's kind of like you're having a hard time waking up from this. This is judgment, and I get it. There's a feeling here that, well, speaking of judgment, I feel like you do feel that you will be judged by others because you keep, in the subconscious or maybe in the more conscious, you're wondering what your family will say about this. And I remember this, the first person I lived with when I had to break up with him, the biggest fear I had was telling my family, and I don't know why that was, because I've always been very, like I said, I'm American. I have a very American mindset when it comes to relationships. But I remember just feeling afraid of what my parents would say, feeling that I failed, quote, quote, a relationship. It was a weird mentality because I didn't realize that was within me. I feel like you have something similar, Pile 5, where if you were to walk away from this person, or if you were to not at least try something with this person, you're afraid of what your friends, family, or the people around you would say, or that you're afraid of what spirit might think. But like I said, spirit, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, they don't see relationships this way. All they see is love, pure love between two people. And respect as well. If it's not making you happy, you can't call it love. You can't call it true love anyway. Let's go ahead and get another card. And I kind of want this to be about the next person coming in, because I really do feel for you, you're going to be sent somebody who's going to shake you up from this. Whether you will pursue a relationship with this person or not is going to be up to you, but that's what I'm getting. We have the conquer. Yeah, there it is. The Knight of Cups. This is somebody who wants to pursue you, but they don't out of respect for you and your situation. You may already know who this is, but because they're aware that you're still stuck on somebody, or that somebody is stuck on you, or that they're trying to make something work, they don't approach you. But you do have somebody, maybe several people, who are admirers of you. They don't approach you because, again, you're stuck on this. And I feel like the universe is kind of trying to make it happen, but trying to not at the same time, because their freedom of will, their free will of choice, is that they will not disrespect you the way this person has disrespected you. After all, boundaries came out in the oracles. This person does respect your boundaries. And maybe that's something you're not used to. Maybe you expect somebody to just come in and like literally steal you away from this person. This person will not, because they understand that it has to be your choice to walk away from them the same way it has to be somebody's choice to show up for you. So there's something here about you needing to step into your power to be with somebody else that is already respecting you, that is already acknowledging you. You know, the right person will not just come in and take you away. You're going to have to step up to them as well, or step towards them. Yeah, let's get outside influences. So what's going on externally? We have Two of Cups, reversed. I think, if we're being quite honest, there's a lot of people who recognize that whatever you have with this past person is not working out. Or maybe somebody has even mentioned, I feel like it's mostly your friends, because I'm feeling the energy of your friends and I feel like I would agree with them. It's not working out between you and this past person. It's just either your light has gone away or you're just not seeming right. And sometimes people are really good at seeing whether we're acting like ourselves or not. You know, even maybe people who aren't your friends, maybe it's coworkers or maybe somebody down the street, you know, just your acquaintances. I feel like people have been telling you in small ways that they feel that person is not right for you. And then let's get, oh, okay, I didn't realize there was a drop of water there. Maybe somebody here has seen you cry when you didn't think they were looking, or heard you cry, maybe like the neighbors or something. They've heard you just angry. Somebody has witnessed your sadness and they wonder why that is, because I don't think you're known for being like that. All right, what's going on emotionally, externally, what people are noticing? We have, this is the Hanged Man, and again, it's just you don't look yourself. I feel like there was a point in time where maybe you did look like yourself with this person. Maybe you were very much in a different energy, but it's like people are telling more and more as, you know, time goes on how unhappy you are. Especially because I feel like these people truly believe that you deserve like an amazing love or the love of your life. And in some cases, this could even be like your spirit guides, maybe, and your ancestors, because I'm quite literally seeing the people around you supporting you and stepping away from this past connection if it's something you should seek support for. Maybe you're just a little too proud for that. Let's get what else Spirit has to say. We have the Four of Wands. I wonder if there's anything you've done. I feel like there's something people are going to celebrate you for, either like a promotion or something where you there's a celebration here of sorts, or people are congratulating you for something. I feel like that's going to be the stepping stone to step out of this, because I'm also seeing that this is the way you kind of solidified it with your past person. This is going to be the same way that you step away from this person, because it's that confidence. There's a boost in your own self-power, in your own belief within yourself, that is going to help you out here. So I don't know if it's going to come with like a promotion at work or maybe a celebration of some sort. It's like, because you're stepping into a new energy, you can no longer stay in the old energy, and it's going to be that much easier to step away from the old energy, the old person. We also have Temperance, but I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of healing. Maybe you already are. And for those of you for whom this past person is already much somebody you've already walked away from, understand that the healing process is like an up and down thing. You know, some days you're doing really great, and other days you feel like you take a few steps back, or that things are just back to how you used to feel. But it's all part of the healing process. This is balancing things out. You are balancing out your own healing. Let's get one last card. Maybe to know a little bit more about the person trying to come in. If you know who this is, I feel like you will know. If you're already dating them, for those of you who are further ahead in this timeline, do know you do have to fully process the old person, fully let go, maybe do several exercises where you detach and decord and send that particular energy away from you. Because depending on how long you were with them or how strong the connection was, it could take anywhere from a few months to maybe even a few years to fully detach. And if it's somebody you have to keep in contact with, like I said, if they are the parent of your child, it's something you're going to have to do regularly. Let's go ahead and get the card for this person though. Seeker of Wands. This is the Page of Wands. This person, if they're not younger than you, slightly younger than you, they could just be very adventurous. They could have like a youthful energy to them. This would be somebody that even though they're the same age as you, or maybe even older, there's a youthfulness to them. Like you may not think they are the age they are, or the opposite could be true as well. Maybe they are younger, but they feel a little bit more mature because of the things they've had to go through. There's something here about their energy that is very different from what you're used to, though, and I feel like it's going to be very complementary to yours. Like it's going to feel like it fits with yours. It definitely vibes with yours. Back of the deck, we have Six of Pentacles reversed, but make sure you keep that balance there. You may want to do something where either they want to put in more effort or you want to put in more effort. I'm seeing that there's going to be a bit of Page of Swords. There has to be a discussion about what your expectations are within this relationship or within this connection, because it could be easy for this to fall into old patterns that you are used to or that they are used to. But I do feel somebody new coming in. It's almost like they're waiting because they have respect for you and they know that there's something there, but they want you to be over the person you were previously with so that you can move forward. So this pile, I feel like it's very, I think even you knew exactly what was keeping you single here. Like, I think you knew exactly what was going on. And this may just be confirmation, or maybe it's the whole, again, the family or cultural expectations you may have that were also impacting this. Let's go ahead and get the closing cards though. Starting with the quotes for pile 5. Anything else keeping you single? Anything preventing you from moving forward? The ring of fire still burns around you, and I keeping our love hotter than a pepper sprout. Johnny Cash. This feels like the ex or like the former person. It's like they built a ring of fire around the both of you and it's hard to get out of. That's not how I always take this particular song and or quote, but that's what I'm seeing. Like they literally built a boundary of fire between the both of you, and of course it's scary to walk through fire. Let's get another one. And in some cases you may have gotten burned in trying to get out of this. Both purples, so your intuition is kicking in. It could be that this person kind of and this happens a lot when we mix our energy with somebody else's. Our intuition can get sluggish, or it may steer us in the wrong direction, or it may just it takes away your power from your intuition. It disempowers you intuitively, essentially. We have, I feel sometimes like I have a map in my pocket that folds up and I pull it out and it's bigger than the table and there's 1,000 places to go with her, Tom Waits. This is the new person. They just have all these plans for you and they think of like all the things you can do. It could even be traveling. And they just kind of wish that this would be over with so that you can both actually start your life together as opposed to it being messy. Because I see this new person, they don't want to come between whatever you have going on. They don't want it to be messy. They would never be the kind of person who wants to be in a third party situation. So they're waiting for you to remove yourself from that so that it doesn't have to be a third party situation. Which is better than people who would settle for a third party situation. That's one way to tell whether somebody's into you or not. People who truly love you will wait for you or will give you the space you need. Maybe not wait forever, that's for sure, but you know, they will give you the space and respect you need. They will not become a third party. All right, let's get your channeled messages, and I'm intending the first one to be from the former person. I just want to get one card from them. I don't want to focus too much. I don't have time for a relationship right now. You know what's funny? Sometimes people say this. It's like, oh, I don't have time for a relationship. And yet they keep messaging you. And yet they keep wanting you to only talk to them. And yet they only expect you to have time for them. It's like, well, what do you think that is? I feel like this former person is very much that way. And maybe they're right. Maybe they don't have the time and energy to dedicate to somebody. So why don't they let you go, is what I'm seeing. Or if they don't, if it's not time, it could just be that they don't have the money, the freedom to do something like, and yet they expect you to be very loyal to them. Like, that's not how loyalty works. It has to be a two-way street. If they don't have time for a relationship with you, or if they don't want one, then you can't have one with them either. Yeah, I don't like this past person. It's very unfair the way that they expected these dynamics to be for you. All right, these next cards are going to be from Spirit. Anything else you need to work on? You're so familiar to me, as if we've known each other for a long time. Yeah, maybe there's a history between you and the past person, and that's why it's hard to let them go. We have, how am I supposed to be okay when you've overtaken every thought? You might just spend too much energy on this past person. This could be somebody who has like their sun in your 8th house, so it's easy to obsess over them or to dedicate a lot of time to them or have intense feelings for them. And then the next card, let's get one for your new person or whoever's coming in. You can see right through me and I hate it. The next person you're going to have a very interesting relationship with, because they are somebody new as well. The person they used to be and the person they are when they meet you is going to be very different. And you're going to be the first relationship they've had after that. So it's going to be very interesting how that dynamic plays out. For example, you might have a more psychic connection with them. Okay, I know this is weird, but I keep finding hairs in this particular deck. It's kind of like you've tried to decord from the past person, but the cords keep coming back. So what I do when I decord, I don't cut it, because when I think of cut, I'm thinking of cutting like the grass or a plant or hair. It grows back, so I pull it, I pluck it. So pluck the strands, the connections, the strings that tie you to somebody, pluck them. Maybe wax them if you have to, wax them for the stuff and just rip it off. Okay, let's get one more card. I can't be with you right now. Somewhere in your life, you've had this mentality that people just don't have the time for you or that they can't be with you. I see this a lot because we did have the abandonment wound in the oracles. I see this a lot with people who had parents that neglected them or didn't have the time for them or wouldn't make the time for them. And this could be playing out in your relationships where you just expect people to not have time for you. So this might be something that you work through, and you have to tell yourself that you are worth all the time in the world. You are worth making time and space for within somebody's life. So that would be something to work on. But this is where I leave it, Pile 5. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care.